It is 3 soda cans, but what it lacks in stature, it makes up in cooling strength. Each beverage a perfect 37 degrees every time. And the 2 feet Joe walks to get a drink, priceless. That's why his mini fridge is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive.
Theriault Booth, a leading local law firm, is located on the beautiful Fox River in downtown St. Charles. Here's Ryan Theriault.
For better or worse, there are just times people need a lawyer. Whether you are involved in a work injury, in an automobile crash, selling a home, or even planning for your estate after your passing, we're here. We're local. We're part of the community.
For more information, visit them on the web at tbfirm.com or give them a call at 630-526-4242. Theriault Booth, a leading local law firm, is located on the beautiful Fox River in downtown St. Charles. Here's Ryan Theriault.
For better or worse, there are just times people need a lawyer. Whether you are involved in a work injury, in an automobile crash, selling a home, or even planning for your estate after your passing, we're here. We're local. We're part of the community.
For more information, visit them on the web at tbfirm.com or give them a call at 630-526-4242.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Out to Lunch with WRMN. I've got the old bell here today. And well, you'll see why here as we get into the rest of the show, why I've got the old style of the bell today. Very cool. I got this at a antique store for like 20 bucks. It's like an old, an old bell. You're used to hearing, of course, this sound of the bell for, out to lunch, but I've got the older bell here today, and you'll see why. You'll see why. Stay tuned for that. Welcome to, of course, Out to Lunch with WRMN. Happy Blues Day Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's Blues Day Tuesday today. Broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin. It's I would say, mostly sunny day outside. We are seeing a little bit of thin clouds in the sky that kind of cover a nice little sheet layer, but the sunlight's still pouring in through here. We're seeing those temperatures that are going to be starting to rise as we continue on through the rest of this week, and then also into next week as well. We see also a chance of showers coming in through here too, which we kind of needed. So that's something to look forward to. So that, of course, the grass can get a little bit greener, even though we're getting, of course, into the fall period. We have a high of 83 degrees today. Currently, right now, it's 69 degrees. We see it being pretty much sunny outside today, all day today. That's what we're going to be seeing here. Pretty much sunny and then also clear as we get into tonight. We see it dropping down to a low of 54. As we head on into Wednesday here, we do see a high of 87 degrees with a low of 57. So again, some of the summer weather temperature-wise is here to stay for a little bit here, and also into next week as well. We're going to be seeing it into the 80s. If you couldn't already tell, if you were watching on YouTube, you can see the screen here that it's getting up into the, pretty much staying into the 80s, even into next week here too. We do see a low of 57 as we do get into Wednesday night. Thursday rolls around, we see mostly sunny with a high of 86 degrees with a low of 65 degrees, mostly cloudy as we get into Thursday night. This then, of course, runs into Friday here, where it's predicted to be pretty much cloudy throughout the whole day, predicted here, with a high of only 78 and a low of 63. That's going to be coming up for Friday. Saturday comes around the corner here. We do see here for Saturday a high of 81 degrees and a low of 63 degrees. It is predicted also, like with Friday, supposed to be mostly cloudy throughout the whole day, dropping down again to a low of 63 degrees as we get into Saturday night. Sunday rolls around. We do see the showers starting to come through here with a high of 82 and a low of 62, chance of showers into the early morning. Continuing on through as we get into the later of the early morning. So we get really in the morning is when it's going to be happening. Prediction wise here for Sunday for the rain, and then it does start to clear up a little bit more. Here we see partly cloudy for Sunday night with a low of 62. Monday rolls around for next week. As we get into the middle of September already here, we do see, pardon me, partly cloudy with a high of 82 degrees and a low of 62. And then for Tuesday, very similar to Monday, we see a high of 82 and a low of 61, partly cloudy. That's the prediction that we're going to be seeing here. Starting off, of course, with an interesting / inspirational stories brought to you by sunnyskies.com. All good news posted yesterday by a friend. That's an anonymous user on sunnyskies.com. This is a case of cat food, So let's read this inspirational story here. The writer writes here, quote, "I was walking to our local pharmacy and remembered I needed to buy a special type of canned cat food from the vet. It's my daughter's cat. She can't afford to pay the expensive food. I had just talked to her about that the day before, that I can't afford to keep paying $300 a month for his vet food. When I entered the vet hospital, the vet assistant was helping another customer. She knew what kind of food I needed to buy and asked if I wanted a partial case or a full case. I decided on the full one. Just then another customer came in and went to the counter. I wasn't in a hurry, so I said, go ahead and serve this gentleman. Meanwhile, I go to the pharmacy. That will give you time to do your paperwork while I'm gone. She said, thanks, that would be great. The gentleman said, you go first. You were here before me. And then she goes, the writer here says, no worries. You go right ahead. It's my pleasure. He jokingly said, wow, how can I thank you? Not really thinking, I blurted out, well, you could buy me the case of cat food. I giggled and left. Well, then what happened is I returned 10 minutes later. I walked up to the counter and the vet was waiting with a huge grin. You don't know anything. He bought you the cat food for you. What the? I was so surprised. They wrote here. Did you know it cost $85 before he decided to buy it? He replied, yes. I thanked him many times for you. I also asked him why he bought the food for you. He said, because you asked him to. He said, to pay it forward. I've always been the kind of person who enjoys helping people or animals who are struggling. Being the recipient was shocking and amazing. So a nice little inspirational story there, brought to you by sunnyskies.com. You can also check out other news, fun, amazing stories, pictures, videos, lots of cool stuff recognized here. That's sunnyskies.com. Very nice. What I also wanted to announce here, too, we've got here foxvalleymagazine.com, of course, announcing the commemorations around the Fox Valley for tomorrow. Tomorrow is already September 11th, and it is the 23rd anniversary coming up tomorrow. The anniversary commemorates the terror attacks that killed nearly 3,000 Americans in New York City, Virginia, and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. So I want to read to you the list of the following Kane County communities that are hosting public events to remember 9/11. Starting off here with the city of Elgin, the Patriot Day Remembrance Ceremony will be held at 9 a.m. on September 11th tomorrow at the Hemmons Cultural Center at 45 Symphony Way. The ceremony will include posting of the flags by the Elgin Fire Department and Elgin Police Department honor guards. The national anthem performed by Larkin High School students, and then some remarks from the city officials and the American Legion Post 57, and Amazing Grace will be played on the bagpipes. Attendees are encouraged to arrive early to secure seats, and the event will also be live streamed on the fire department's Facebook page for those who are unable to attend in person. Heading out to the city of Aurora, the memorial ceremony will be held at 7:30 a.m. and hosted by the Aurora Police and Fire Departments at the Aurora Police Department at 1200 East Indian Trail. The ceremony will feature a presentation of colors, a wreath laying by the Aurora Police and Honor Guards, and comments from city officials. A moment of silence will be held at 7:46 a.m., the minute the first plane hit the North Tower of the World Trade Center. In the village of Carpentersville, coming up tomorrow, the remembrance ceremony will be held at 8:30 a.m. at the Carpentersville Fire Department at 213 Spring Street. A field of honor for all first responders who died in the line of duty on September 11th, 2001, also will be on display there through till September 13th. The Field of Honor includes 403 flags representing police officers, firefighters, paramedics, and Port Authority members. Heading out to St. Charles, the St. Charles Fire Department is going to be hosting the annual 9/11 Remembrance Ceremony at 7:30 a.m. That'll be tomorrow outside the Fire Department Memorial Monument, which is located at 2 East Main Street. The ceremony will include posting of the Fire Department memorial flag, posting the memorial wreath, remarks from members of the Fire Department and the city, as well as, of course, observing a moment of silence. In addition, there will be a 21-gun salute by local veterans and an invocation as well. In addition here, the Kane County Board will issue the following proclamation at its meeting. That'll be, it says it's today, at its meeting on September 10th, which is today, recognizing September 11th. So there is the proclamation there too, which is available, and that was posted onto the foxvalleymagazine.com. The proclamation recognizing September 11th as Patriots Day, Day of Remembrance in Kane County, Illinois. So that information has been posted onto Fox Valley Magazine. So if you would like to read more on that, that's foxvalleymagazine.com. When you actually go to the main webpage here too, and I'm just showing you just in case you want to see it for yourself as well, it's the first thing that comes up on the news. So it's the top news, rightfully so. So that is posted again onto foxvalleymagazine.com. The time is 10:16. What we'll do is we'll take a quick time out. Of course, when we come back, we'll discuss more here. You're listening to WRMN AM 1410. Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. Stay tuned.
It's the time of the year where storms and inclement weather can pop up unexpectedly. If you have a generator powered by a small engine, keep it running like a top. Don't do the tune-up yourself. Let Ames Small Engine Repair at 674 Laurel Street in Elgin handle your generator. Ames can do oil changes, spark plugs, and make all the necessary adjustments. From simple tune-ups to major repairs, Ames Small Engine can do it all. Don't forget, it's not too early to think about a lawnmower tune-up. Call 847-742-8750.
From morning coffee to your evening commute, WRMN 1410 AM is here for you. The faithful friend that brings you local news, timely topics, and the friendliest voices in the Valley. Stay informed, entertained, and engaged with our full lineup of shows, streaming all day, every day at WRMN1410.com or on the WRMN app. Wherever you are, we're right there with you. So why switch stations? Stick with the one that has it all. WRMN 1410 AM, your daily companion, your constant conversation.
Oh no, I just hit that post and my car's got a dent.
Uh-oh, better get Mako.
Oh yeah? Where are they?
Mako is America's body shop. They're the world's largest provider of paint and collision services. They're located at 212 Western Avenue in Carpentersville, across from Spring Hill Mall. I've used them. Check out my car.
Wow, looking good.
Everything was so easy and affordable. Hummer and staff were super friendly and really knew their stuff.
I'm gonna call them now.
Mention WRMN 1410 at the Carpentersville Mako and receive 10% off today.
What's the best way to get rid of a timeshare that you don't want? Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline. We're a group of attorneys that help customers legally exit their timeshares. It's an easy process. We guarantee results or you pay nothing. Exit your timeshare today. Call now.
800-890-5957. 800-890-5957. That's 800-890-5957.
Be sure to catch the first shift weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. for important information like fire tips from Elgin Fire Chief Rob Sagan.
The thing in the winter that we're more concerned with is carbon monoxide, because that we don't get in the summer. That carbon monoxide issues occur because of heating equipment. Anything that burns natural gas, if it is faulty, can generate high levels of carbon monoxide, which in time can be fatal. So I can't emphasize enough the importance of having carbon monoxide detectors in your home. Every single year you will see somewhere in the country, and usually we'll get one or two in the Chicagoland area, where you'll see multiple fatalities in one home. You can't smell carbon monoxide, you can't taste carbon monoxide, you have no idea it's happening. And so it's critically important that you have the right detectors in your home.
It's the first shift weekday mornings at 6 a.m. with me, Marky B, right here on WRMN.
All right, welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch with WRMN, broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin. Hopefully you're having a good morning so far. It's Tuesday. It's Blues Day Tuesday. Yes, it is. Blues Days Tuesdays. Hopefully you're enjoying the day so far. Don't forget, you can feel free to check out our website, WRMN1410.com. Of course, if you want to check out our weekly lineup as well as weekend lineup, we also, of course, do have our schedule where you can also listen now, too. So you can listen live on youtube.com at WRMN Radio. You can also, of course, feel free to like and subscribe if you would like to keep up to date with what's happening here on WRMN and, of course, also with the Fox River Valley. Yes, of course. Absolutely. As I say here. Now, what I wanted to do here is I wanted to start off here by kind of talking a little bit about some of the beers of the month of September. If you go to Fox Valley Magazine and if you go under dining, you can check out some things here. I did go through yesterday the month's featured dishes, but you can also check out the month's of September's beers. That's the beers of the month. So if you want to check out that information, it's posted on here too on foxvalleymagazine.com. So if you might be looking for some beers to try out, I'll give you some suggestions here. Some of the featured selections of craft beers, created by local Fox Valley area brewing companies can be found here. Pollyanna Brewing and Distilling 10th Anniversary Lager. So you can do a Baltic Porter. They're turning 10 this September, so what better way to celebrate than releasing a big old lager beer loaded with chocolates, caramel, and dark fruits. This is a Baltic Porter that's worthy of any celebration. It certainly goes nicely with the changing seasons, too, of course, as well as we get here the cooler weather that's approaching. So you can help celebrate them with the 10th anniversary lager. Give it a try. Sounds pretty good. And that's Pollyanna Brewing Company and Distilling at 106 South Riverside Avenue. That is in St. Charles. Something else you can try out there with Oktoberfest season in the air of September. You can try the Scarecrows in Lederhosen Marzen Lager. So that's something to try out. Their annual release, brought to you by Riverlands Brewing, is returning. Their annual release, paying homage to its Bavarian predecessors with its deep amber hue, malty backbone, and near infinite drinkability. Available on tap and in 4 packs to go this September while supplies last. Absolutely. And don't forget, coming up Saturday, September 28th, you can join Riverlands Brewing in St. Charles for their Oktoberfest celebration. Sounds like a good grand old time to get some good food, great beers, drinks, and awesome company and hospitality and community spirit. That's Riverlands Brewing at 1860 Dean Street, Unit A in St. Charles. You can also try the Sharkle. Dive into the Sharkle, a new Bloodline Session IPA that brings a burst of refreshment to your taste buds. This brew shimmers with vibrant tropical and citrus notes. It delivers a crisp and hoppy flavor that's light and easy to drink. Something that you can just enjoy on the go. Perfect for really any occasion here, too. And they're available on draft and in 16-ounce cans. That is by Two Brothers Brewing Company at 30W315 Calumet Avenue in Warrenville is where that's located. You can try the Rise and Brine, inspired by the art of barbecue. Rise and Brine was brewed to complement an array of culinary spices and sugars. So it sounds pretty unique here. And this is by Alter Brewing and Kitchen at 12 South 1st Street in St. Charles. You can try their Rise and Brine. The core of their collab is an IPA that is incredibly flavorful, reminiscent of a West Coast, but with an addition of the brown sugar and Morton salt that gives it a little bit more strength and distinction. Finally, they dry hopped with Apollo hops that are of a deeply resinous and piney variety, and they hope you can enjoy this delicious drink. Nice coming into the can there, too. You can also try the Oktoberfest, German-inspired Oktoberfest Lager, crafted with select blend of German malts and hops that highlight a substantial Munich malt, bready body with hoist to hoist a stein or two or three in your favorite fall season. You can find those at Penrose Brewing in downtown Geneva. That's a 509 Stevens Street in Geneva. So there's a little sneak peek on some of the craft beers featured within the Fox River Valley. Lots of different local breweries there too. You can read more on that, of course, at foxvalleymagazine.com. Absolutely. You can also check out the September newsletter here too. That's where you're going to be able to find lots of different information on what is happening within the Fox River Valley. So, pardon me, you can try that out. The Prost auf das Oktoberfest. That's the September edition. It's a 138-page edition, Fox Valley Magazine edition here for September. So if you want to, of course, look at it yourself, you can feel free to do so. You'll be able to find it available online at foxvalleymagazine.com. So you can check out the signature dishes, drinks that are available in the month of September that are signature to the Fox River Valley. Of course, anything that's coming up here for pumpkin farms, you know that you're going to be able to find a lot of that as they already are open for the season, some that are going to be opening pretty soon, where, of course, you can enjoy some delicious apple cider donuts, pumpkin spice, and all things nice. Absolutely good things to try out here, all within the Fox River Valley area. You can also find, of course, different festivals that are going to be coming up here in the near future, things related to the St. Charles Business Alliance. So, of course, we like to bring up that happy hour hub there too, specials that are going on, as well as other local festivals and events that will be coming up. You'll be able to also find some things like the East and West Dundee Heritage Fest, which is coming up September 13th, 14th, and 15th. So that has been posted on there too. If you want to check out more information on that, that'll be coming up pretty soon here already. The Dundee Heritage Fest held September 13th, 14th, and 15th. That's in downtown East and West Dundee. It's definitely a local favorite along the Fox River. Heritage Fest is free to attend, and of course, it provides activities for all ages. It's going to be a lot of fun, and that'll be coming up September 13th on Friday with a fireworks show over the Fox River at 8 p.m. starting this Friday here. Definitely don't want to miss out on that. Bookended with high energy live entertainment from 6 to 8 and also 9 to 11 p.m. So you're going to find some great live entertainment. Of course, delicious food. You can't go wrong with delicious food that you can find at these local events. So this and more can be found on their latest September newsletter edition that you can find. Of course, I'm sure local libraries also do feature them too, but you can also download it and also look at it for yourself online at foxvalleymagazine.com. So you can find some good stuff here, like Old Republic Kitchen and Bar having their Oktoberfest. That started September 9th, so that already started. And just, I mean, again, this is 138 pages of goodness that you can check out for yourself. View everything that the Fox River Valley has to offer. So there's a lot of great things that are coming up here. Definitely want to stay tuned for that. Just want to send a reminder out here. You're listening to WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. Feel free to check out our website, WRMN1410.com, for more information. You can listen to us live through the AM 1410 dial. You can also, of course, listen to us through the app. It's available for download on Google Play for Samsung users and through the App Store, download for free for the Apple users out there too. You can also, of course, listen to us live through our website, WRMN1410.com. You can also listen and watch live here on YouTube.com at WRMN Radio. So there you go. As we get into the bottom of the hour news and messages from our sponsors, afterwards we'll continue on talking about things locally as we take you out to lunch here with WRMN AM 1410. So stay tuned for that. Absolutely. Again, this is Matt broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin. We'll take a quick time out. We'll be back with more on Blues Day Tuesday. Blues Day Tuesday. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan, brought to you by the U.S. Postal Service. In an effort to address the educational needs of Americans without a four-year college degree, Illinois is receiving an $8 million boost from the Apprenticeships Build America grants. The funding is part of a $244 million initiative by the U.S. Department of Labor. 57-year-old David R. Glass, facing severe legal repercussions after being charged with multiple felonies related to child pornography, the McHenry County Sheriff's Office, in collaboration with the Illinois Attorney General's Office, charging Glass with 10 counts of reproducing or selling child pornography and 10 counts of possession. Elgin is set to commemorate Patriot Day with a solemn remembrance ceremony September 11th at the Hemmons Cultural Center. The event is scheduled to begin at 9 a.m. when will feature the Elgin Fire Department, Elgin Police Department, and honored guests presenting flags. Participants will be treated to a rendition of the national anthem by Larkin High School students, heartfelt remarks from city officials, and representatives of the American Legion Post 57. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan.
What's better than one win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
High and deep to center. Back on it is Robert. This one's gone. Home run, Bo Naylor.
Guardians Radio 5-3 the win over the White Sox. Loss number 112 for the Sox, who suffered their franchise record 13th consecutive home loss and 15th in their last 17 games overall. The Sox approaching the Major League modern record for most losses in a season that was set by the Mets in 1962 with 120. The Cubs pounded the Dodgers 10-4 at Dodger Stadium. Chicago took a 3-0 lead out of the first. Michael Busch 4 for 5 with a homer. He scored 3 runs. Cody Bellinger had 3 RBI, including a 2-run homer. The Cubs offense broke out for 16 hits. Every player got at least 1. The Cubs look to extend a 2-game winning streak tonight when the series continues. Chicago 5 games out of a National League wild card spot.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 test under high-load conditions versus API-SP test limits.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Joe Fallon's bedroom mini fridge. Sure, this pint-sized chiller's max capacity is 3 soda cans, but what it lacks in stature, it makes up in cooling strength. Each beverage a perfect 37 degrees every time. And the 2 feet Joe walks to get a drink, priceless. That's why his mini fridge is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Out to Lunch with WRMN, broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin. Happy Blues Day, Tuesday. But yet, it should not be a blue day today. Blue skies, but not blue with the blues. But blue with the blues in the terms that it's Blues Days Tuesdays with some good blues music. There you go. You don't have to be blue to listen to blues music. So what I wanted to do is talk a little bit about a place here. I've actually never been before, but I know that if you were watching the live stream, it was on Sunday. On Sunday, we were out in Burlington, and we were at the Burlington Fest. It was a lot of fun. We had a great time doing that broadcast for the parade. And I wanted to, of course, give recognition to some other Burlington restaurants. You, of course, have heard of Mott's Lounge in Burlington. They're celebrating 100 years this year. Absolutely, that's fantastic. You can check them out. They've got appetizers. They have food. You can get some good drinks. But here's another place I want to suggest to you that's located in Burlington. This is a nice little pizza joint restaurant known as El Patron Pizza and Grill. Patron, tequila, you know the song. And that is closed now, but they're open at 4 p.m. So it's more so of a little bit of a later lunch / early dinner or even dinner time place to go to. This is located in the beautiful, cute little town of Burlington with a lot of historical buildings there too at 125 South Main Street. That's where it's located, 125 South Main Street. So if you want to check out more information on them, you can visit their Facebook page. So they don't have an actual physical website. They do have a Facebook page, though, which still works just as great. So if you want to visit them, it's El Patron Pizza and Grill, located in Burlington. Is where you can find that information. You can also find their nice little logo here, too, well-designed logo at exploreelginarea.com. Their food meets fun there, good for dine-in, takeout, or delivery. They've got you covered here. Menu fare including appetizers, salads, wings, sandwiches, wraps, burgers. They've got a whole list of good looking options to try out here at El Patron. So if you want to give it a try, you can definitely do so. I mean, even looking at their Facebook page here too, look at that. They've got their loaded fries here. That looks delicious. Someone asked, what's it called? It's the Buffalo Ranch Basket. Oh my goodness, does that look good? You get, it looks like here, what is it? You get ranch, you get cheese. They call it the Buffalo Ranch Basket. So you get buffalo sauce. It looks like it's melted cheese on there. Yeah, it looks like maybe buffalo, some sort of buffalo sauce on there too. You get bacon on there. Oh my goodness, does that sound delicious? That sounds really good. That looks really good too. Having those loaded fries sounds delicious. Now, curious here about the history of the loaded fries. Well, according to Avico.com, it definitely comes out from Missouri back in the day at Dairy Queen. We can give recognition to Austin Ruse's name getting thrown around a lot as the first to ever serve a chili cheese fries, or so-called like loaded fries, out of a Dairy Queen in Missouri. This was, looks like here, I don't know what the year it was. Some experts believe that the cheese fries became popular after a famous cheese in a can showed up on a supermarket shelves that we know of in 1956. Cheese Whiz. Loaded cheese fries? Could that be the history there? I don't know. So that's those are the cheese fries. It looks pretty good here that you can get. Some of the other options that you can try out here as well. You can visit their Facebook page to view their menu. So they do have their menu. You can try out their appetizers, which include jalapeno poppers. You can try out their Italian beef egg rolls. Interesting. Italian beef egg rolls. Of course, I'm familiar with egg rolls, but Italian beef egg rolls. It's stuffed with Italian beef, mozzarella cheese. You get the side of Chipotle ranch on there, too. Sounds pretty good. A different mixture of cultures there. You can try their fried shrimp, fried calamari. You can try their garlic bread, cheese curds, mac and cheese bites, chicken tenders, and more. You can even try their chorizo egg rolls, featured here at El Patron Pizza and Grill. You can try their wings, 6-piece, 12 or 24. Sauce options include their buffalo, barbecue, mango habanero, and even garlic parmesan. You can try it as a party tray as well, 50-piece or 100-piece. That is a lot. That's a lot of food. You can try out their salads, their berry salad, Caesar, Greek, chef salad, or house side salad for a choice. You can try their sandwiches and wrap, including their Italian beef, Italian sausage, chicken parmesan sandwich, crispy chicken BLT wrap, grilled chicken wrap, and buffalo. You can try their smash burger, which is only $8 with a combo meal. You get it for $12. That includes fries and a drink. You can try what's called their Western burger, which is onion rings, bacon, cheddar, and barbecue sauce for something a little bit more of a Western style. If you want something a little bit more with a guac, they have their guac and roll. Rock and roll, it's guac and roll. I like that. You can also try here the El Patron at El Patron Pizza and Grill. What that includes is pepper jack cheese, chorizo, corn, and pico de gallo. You can also try the El Monster, cheddar cheese, cheese curds, bacon, onion rings, and nacho cheese. That is very cheesy. Is it, well, that'll definitely have to be something that you try out. If you have to come hungry for that. Maybe go for a walk or a run after that. That's a lot of cheese. You could also, of course, do a build your own. So you can build your own burger here too at El Patron Pizza and Grill. For entrees, you can try their spaghetti and meatballs. Something nice, little Italian cuisine. House salad and garlic bread included with all of the entrees. You can try their baked mastacholi. You can also try their chicken parmesan. It's also featured there as well. They also do offer baked lasagna, which sounds pretty good too. You can do their ribs, their barbecue ribs, or also their fettuccine Alfredo. So they do offer a wide range of things here located at El Patron Pizza and Grill in Burlington. They also do offer a nice little pizza menu here too. You can do buffalo ranch, Romano. You can try the meat lovers pizza, Hawaiian, margarita pizza. They've got a good list here. So you can check this out and more at El Patron Pizza and Grill. And their hours of operation are Sunday and Monday from, what does it say here on the menu? I'm trying to look. That is 3 p.m. to 9. Tuesday through Thursday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. And then Friday and Saturday from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. So you can definitely check out their Facebook page for more information on that. Looks pretty good. Some good food. You can also, of course, take a look at some of the pictures of the food to enjoy. Their pizza looks scrumptious. They've got some good chicken sandwiches. Their Italian beef loaded with the cheese. Their cheese pizza loaded with the cheese, of course. A cheesy good time here at the El Patron. Check it out for yourself. They got some good options. Looks like maybe they're known for their pizza. Well, duh. It is. Pizza and Grill. So definitely want to give it a try. We do have a caller on hold here. We'll take it to the phone lines. Hi there, caller. You're on with WRMN.
G'day, Matt.
Oh, my goodness, and good day to you. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Very good.
How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for calling in today. So I'm thinking here it's around 2, 3 o'clock. Is that right in Australia today?
You're close. It's 1:43.
Close enough.
I am.
It's over early in the morning. You got any fun plans today?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I'm having a little trouble, too, today.
Hang on, I have a drink of water.
Yeah, I'm staying hydrated, too. You got any fun plans today?
Later on, no. It'll be the usual treatment at the hospital. And then I'll be there for 5 hours. And then I'll come home and, yes, I'll have a relaxing day in the afternoon here at home after treatment.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope you can find something fun to do, though, too. Whether it's reading, listening to the radio, of course, here.
I have my phone. I usually watch some nice videos. I've been watching some nice bird watching videos on YouTube, and they always have relaxing music with them. And there's the underwater, the oceanic fish, marine life swimming around. They're good too. They have nice relaxing music and yes, I watch those, and I've been watching other videos too. And my chair is right near the window.
Oh, good.
So I can look out the window and see the birds flying around, and there's a bulrush tree that the birds love, especially the lorikeets and other birds. And Yeah, so I just watch the day go by at the window and watch the videos on YouTube and talk to the other patients and have her to sleep as well. I'll have a little nap.
Well, very nice. That's very relaxing when you're able to look out the window and see all of nature, too. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, we are going to take a quick time out. I wanted to bring you on here just for a little bit, but thank you so much for calling in today, Derica. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and of course, best of luck to your with your treatment.
Okay.
All right. Thanks so much. Bye-bye now. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick time out here. We'll be back with more Out to Lunch with WRMN here. You're listening to WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley. Talk of the Town. Stay tuned.
A recent Gallup poll indicated that 38% of Americans are putting off health care because of financial concerns, the highest ever recorded. I'm Dr. Bob Martin, here to serve you every Sunday afternoon from 1 to 4. Millions of Americans are seeking health advice that will not cost an arm and a leg, so I offer health tips and advice absolutely free. Listen to my show, Sunday afternoons from 1 to 4 right here on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM, the voice of the Valley and the home of Radio Shopping Show.
Looking to stay informed on the political issues that truly matter? I'm Dennis Sonar Green, inviting you to join me every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m. on WRMN for A Political Talk Show. WRMN, the talk of the town, is where you'll find clear, balanced analysis of the day's biggest news. We dig into the headlines, cutting through the noise to deliver the facts and insights you need to stay informed. Whether you're deeply into politics or just want to understand what's going on, this show offers the depth and perspectives that matter. Tune in every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on WRMN and be part of the conversation that's shaping our community. Let's navigate today's political landscape together on A Political Talk Show, only on WRMN, the talk of the town.
Come on out to the Country Donuts, that is, at Route 20 and Nestler Road. They're always open. Donuts are made daily using only the finest ingredients to ensure freshness. Their huge variety of donuts offers something to please everyone. Country Donuts doesn't stop at offering you the best donuts. Enjoy a delicious breakfast sandwich or stop in for lunch and try a bowl of their famous chili. Need a larger or special donut order for your office? Call 847-488-1900.
The Distance Social, your spot for great craft cocktails with meaningful conversation. Whether you're out entertaining a group or out for a memorable nightcap, The Distance Social is your spot for starting or ending the perfect evening. Located at 314 North River Street in beautiful East Dundee, Illinois. Go the distance and find your social at The Distance Social.
Looking to get your fingers on some delicious grub? Look no further than Sticky Fingers in Carpentersville. Family owned and operated, Sticky Fingers specializes in chicken, fish, and shrimp, which you can choose to have dusted with flavor or doused in the sauce of your choice. Sticky Fingers strives to provide flavorful food with fresh, locally sourced ingredients. Sticky Fingers personally invites you to stop by and try one of their scrumptious dishes today.
All right, welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch with WRMN, broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin. It's a beautiful day outside today. Hopefully you go outside and enjoy the beautiful day. It's Blues Day Tuesday today. Yes, yes, yes. Blues Day Tuesday. The word blue for blues also matches, of course, the color of our logo, WRMN. It's also blue. Of course, paying tribute to Blues Days, to WRMN, with it being Blues Days Tuesdays, with the color blue, kind of tying it all together. Why I've got the older bell today, right? We think of older, we think of from the past, right? And recognizing what is from the past, what's in the future and how, or what's in the now and how it is, and then what to expect in the future too. So we can look at things from the past, in the now, and then see, how's it going to go in the future? So what I want to do here is, of course, give a little, not even a little announcement. It's a big announcement here. So hold on to your hats. Folks, today is September 10th. And you know what that means. Maybe you don't. But as of September 10th today, we're officially kicking off our 75th year today. Today's the day, 75th year of broadcasting here on WRMN. Of course, you've seen our website before where we're celebrating 75 years of community broadcasting. Today is the official day. Yes, today's the official day. That's right, folks. For 3/4 of a century, we've been your voice of the valley and your talk of the town. How awesome is that? Now, of course, it all started back on today, September 10th, back in 1949. So here's a little brief history here. When two visionaries, George Ralston and Jerry Miller, founded this very station. Here's a little bit of trivia here. And this is actually something I have to say that I didn't know either. You know the name, of course, WRMN. Well, what does that actually come from, WRMN? Well, it comes from the names of Ralston's children. Richard, R, or I'll say this, R for Richard, M for Mary, and N for Nancy. So it's WRMN. R for Richard, M for Mary, N for Nancy. I did not know that. That is pretty cool. That's definitely kind of a personal touch that has defined our station from the very beginning, too. So that is really cool. Now, over these 75 years, we have been seeing a lot of changes. And again, I'm not just speaking about just within the couple of years, and even the past 6 months or so. We're seeing it with over the 75 years. We see how life changes. We see how culture changes. Different views, different perspectives on lots of things within the 75 years. Technology especially changing. Who would have thunk it that we would have been here on YouTube back 75 years ago? The word YouTube wasn't even the thing that came to people's mind. So we've been seeing a lot of changes, both in our community and also in the world of broadcasting. But there's one thing that has remained constant: our commitment to you, to our listeners, and to the Fox River Valley. And that's important. And that also goes for other radio stations here, too. It's all about providing for the community. But of course, our commitment to you, our listeners, and also to the Fox River Valley. So we are here, not just me, but everyone here is proud to say that we're more dedicated than ever to bringing you local content. You've already seen it growing here with, of course, our expansion with YouTube, because in the past we just did radio. It was on radio. Now we're doing YouTube. We're even doing podcasts. So we are expanding with the option of technology that we have today. We're expanding on it. We're using it. We're not just ignoring it. We're taking advantage of it, the uses that it has, the wonderful uses that it creates for us with technology, where you can physically watch us live on YouTube and listen in, while also still being able to keep the classic way of listening by tuning in that AM dial, that dial on your radio, whether it's in your car, whether you have one at work or at your home, whether it's an older radio or a newer radio. There's that classic way that we still do keep, of course, presentation here by getting the word out here from WRMN. You're able to listen to the radio, but we have, again, also expanded on the technological side of things outside of the radio dial with YouTube, with podcasts, and all that great stuff, too. So we're now live in the studio with local broadcasting 99% of the time, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. And we're working on expanding our weekend coverage as well. So that's what we're hoping to achieve here, is to do 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., local in-house broadcasting, local broadcasting here, live broadcasting. I think that that's really cool. And we're looking forward to the future on it, too. And, of course, for all you sports fans out there, we've brought back the high school games broadcasting and adding the Fox River Sports Network. That is pretty exciting. So you can catch the live sports commentary right here in studio. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. And, of course, we're not just on your radio anymore. As we step further into live streaming on YouTube, you can now watch us as well, like I said before. And, of course, if you're watching us now, you know exactly that you're watching us now here live on YouTube. So a lot of these broadcasts are archived, which is also really cool too. You know, you've got the old days where you put it in and you record it from the tapes and then you take it out, and that was the archive, the physical tapes. Now we have it electronically, where we're able to download the streams, archive them, bring them up on YouTube, send them to people too. So all of the different interviews, people that we have guests on here on the show, we're able to cut those interviews, edit them, use them for promos, of course, recognition, so that you can use them too, and that you can also watch them and listen to them as well. So that's the beauty of the internet and the technology that we have. If we have expanded outside of just using the day AM 1410 Classic Radio, which of course we still hone in on and of course appreciate it, as that's where the roots come from, but also expanding onto even greater technology and more advanced technology here that we do have. So again, you can watch us as well as listen to us. With that being archived, you can catch up on anything that you might have missed. And of course, there's more. We've got our app. You can listen to us through our app. WRMN, wherever you can go, that's where you can take WRMN wherever you go. Crystal clear sound. It's right on your phone, right on your tablet, right on your device. And listen to us anywhere from around the world. As we celebrate this milestone, we want to thank you, our listeners. Whether it's been 75 years that you've been with us, listening to us that long, or maybe you just tuned in right now at this moment. You're the reason that we do what we do. We are honored here to be, of course, part of your local broadcasters, bringing you news, entertainment, and connection that matters to our Fox River Valley community, and that's important. So, of course, we want to give a cheers to celebrating 75 years of memories, and, of course, so many more to come. Keep listening, keep engaging, and keep being the amazing community that you are, because it is your radio station. You help us out so much, and we greatly appreciate all of the comments that you bring in through the phone, through the text, through emails. It all is recognized, and it's all appreciated. So we thank you so much for that. From all of us here at WRMN, thank you for the 75 years, the wonderful years. And here is to the next chapter. So stay tuned for more details. We're going to take it to the top of the hour news and messages from our sponsors. And when we come back, we'll have a celebration, an awesome celebration with the crew. So stay tuned for that. We'll be broadcasting live, of course, here. You'll be able to watch us on youtube.com, at WRMN Radio. You'll be able to listen to us through the app, and you'll also be able to listen to us through the classic AM 1410 dial. So stay tuned, folks. We'll be back with more with our 75th anniversary broadcast. Stay tuned, everyone.
For exceptional home-cooked meals, visit the longest family-owned restaurant in Elgin. Paul's Family Restaurant at Lawrence and McLean takes pride in their fresh daily specials like steaks, fish, pasta, soups, and more. Paul's fresh buttermilk pancakes and breakfast skillets are phenomenal. As you walk in, you can't help but notice owner Elaine's wonderful eye for detail. The toughest decision you'll have to make is what size leftover box to take home. Call 847-695-8687. For exceptional home-cooked meals, visit the longest family-owned restaurant in Elgin. Paul's Family Restaurant at Lawrence and McLean takes pride in their fresh daily specials like steaks, fish, pasta, soups, and more. Paul's fresh buttermilk pancakes and breakfast skillets are phenomenal. As you walk in, you can't help but notice owner Elaine's wonderful eye for detail. The toughest decision you'll have to make is what size leftover box to take home. Call 847-695-8687. Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410. Elgin time, 11 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan. Brought to you by the U.S. Postal Service. In an effort to address the educational needs of Americans without a four-year college degree, Illinois is receiving an $8 million boost from the Apprenticeships Build America grants. The funding is part of a $244 million initiative by the U.S. Department of Labor. 57-year-old David R. Glass, facing severe legal repercussions after being charged with multiple felonies related to child pornography, the McHenry County Sheriff's Office, in collaboration with the Illinois Attorney General's Office, charging Glass with 10 counts of reproducing or selling child pornography and 10 counts of possession. Elgin is set to commemorate Patriot Day with a solemn remembrance ceremony September 11th at the Hemmons Cultural Center. The event is scheduled to begin at 9 a.m. and will feature the Elgin Fire Department, Elgin Police Department, and honored guests presenting flags. Participants will be treated to a rendition of the national anthem by Larkin High School students, heartfelt remarks from city officials, and representatives of the American Legion Post 57. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan.
What's better than one win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free, for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. That's 800-760-1845.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Hand off to Debo, a block and a dive for the goal line, and he's up on the goal line and in. Touchdown! San Francisco!
The call on Niners radio on last night's 32-19 win over the Jets. Fill-in running back Jordan Mason ran for 147 yards and a touchdown in place of the injured Christian McCaffrey as the 49ers spoiled Aaron Rodgers' comeback game. On the other side, Brock Purdy 19 for 29, passing 231 yards. San Francisco got a pair of rushing touchdowns, one from Mason, the other from Deebo Samuel. Jake Moody 6 for 6 on field goal attempts. His longest was 53 yards. San Francisco scored on 8 consecutive drives in the season-opening win. McCaffrey sat the game out due to injuries to his calf and Achilles. Up next, a matchup with the Vikings.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super-rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? with a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19.
How many times have you heard about or driven past the Volo Auto Museum and still haven't checked it out? They have over 200,000 square feet of heated showrooms filled with countless collections of the most amazing mechanical marvels in the world. From incredible collector cars, movie cars, trains, boats, and planes, to a Disney gallery, dinosaurs, vintage arcades, kiddie rides, and a medieval torture exhibit, plus the Titanic Museum. They're open every day from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit volofun.com.
For local information and fun times in the mornings, listen to Marky B and Larry Jones on the first shift.
Maybe we need to get a radio intern in to help you.
Maybe so.
Somebody that you won't have to pay and you can treat them tough.
I can haze them.
You can't haze. You'll get fired. Remember that guy from Northwestern?
Yeah.
Gone.
Did he really do it?
You don't have to really do it. If somebody says you did,
yeah,
good enough. Maybe I'm going to accuse you of hazing me. I don't have to prove it.
It's the first shift, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on WRMN. All right. Hello, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and cherished listeners. Today, we gather to celebrate a remarkable milestone in the history of WRMN AM 1410. This is a beacon of radio excellence that has illuminated the airwaves for 75 incredible years. From its humble beginnings, WRMN has grown to be an integral part of the Fox River Valley community. And it's has shaped local culture. It has been delivering news, and it's been providing entertainment for generations of listeners. Over the decades, our station has remained steadfast to its commitment to the community, reflecting the values, stories, and spirits of the Fox River Valley with unparalleled dedication and passion. So as we commemorate this 75th anniversary, we honor not just the longevity of WRMN, but also the enduring relationships that we have built with our listeners and the profound impact that we've had on the local landscape. Located here at Studio 14 Douglas Avenue, our station has been more than just a place where music and talk intersect. They've been a gathering spot for shared experiences and a voice for the community's heartbeat. Here's to the celebration and a legacy of excellence, and looking forward to many more years of service, connection, and community engagement. So thank you for being a part of the, for being a vital part of the journey of making WRMN AM 1410 a cherished cornerstone in the Fox River Valley. We want to welcome, of course, our wonderful team here today to the stage.
Good job. Thank you. Thank you.
Happy birthday, WRMN, huh? Great introduction, Matt. Thank you very much for that. You did a great job on setting the stage, what we're here for today. Today, it's a celebration. Even though Matt actually started out with, we are gathered here today, as a bereavement minister, that's what I start out every one of the funerals. So let's forget about that. We're not gathered here. We're mustered. We're rallied together today. Because this is a milestone. This is 3/4. I mean, my God, 75 years. And we've been blessed to be able to take it for hopefully another 75 at minimum. You know, you guys a lot longer than me. I'm the old guy of the crew.
Well, the library set the pace is
sure
really
did.
what it is. So we're just trying to outpace them with it. And then also in this year, it was Elgin Community College also started. So
they were founded in January, I believe, didn't they?
Yeah, in January. And this is what I really appreciate about Elgin and the Fox River Valley is holding on to that history, passing it from generation to generation. When we went to Mott's Lounge, 4 generations over there.
God, that was amazing.
And the longevity of these things is purely from the community support. If the community wasn't behind it, if the community didn't show up, if people didn't check out books, if people didn't go to school, if people didn't drink beer, you wouldn't have these things. And really, this is a celebration for the 75 years of listeners of WRMN.
Without the listeners, none of us have anything to do. We appreciate the loyal listenership that we've endured throughout the years, that I guess we could take credit for at this point. But more importantly, we're going to, again, restore community broadcasting, I think, at a higher level than it's ever been placed at before. We were really hoping to have our construction done. Yeah, those of you that know, our Redemption Center is kind of turning into the biggest green room, we're calling it, but it's like a community center. And it's, it's supposed to be a place where people can come in, tell us about what's going on. If you still want to redeem some of the coupons, what's left of the radio shopping, you're more than welcome. But it's a way to get to know each other, get to know what's going on in the community. And that's going to be the hopefully the focal point for the Fox River Valley. No matter where you're from, we want you to come in, tell us what's going on. Maybe we'll have some of the local talent, different bands, different cooking demonstrations, you name it, whatever we're able to pull off here. Plays, we have those poetry people that do those rhymes with the rap. And, we're trying to bring this for not only just all listeners, but all cultures. Everyone is welcome here in our building, and that's our commitment as a team. You look behind us, we've got Tammy from Tammy and Friends. We've got Marky B from the morning show. Of course, my partner, Dennis Sonar Green. And then we also have in the room Jeff Myers. Jeff Myers, the voice of Elgin. You don't see on the camera Bruce Shipper. We have Ryan and, of course, Matt. Ryan's with us with the Redemption Center. So this is our team.
And Ben's holding down the fort.
Ben is behind us. He was
making sure we got everything squared away in the back.
Yeah, he's running. That's our, he's the guy that runs the panel. So,
when it goes to show you how many people it takes to run a station and how many people on the team give that time. And that's what you're giving as a listener. You're giving us your time. And therefore, we respect it quite well. So I think we're going to open up the phone lines throughout this time as well for memories. And we want to get as many memories as we possibly can of WRMN, people who have been here, people who have listened, long-time, lifelong listeners, 75 years, and you definitely pick up people somewhere. We're going to have some people call in from this as well, people that we want to make sure are highlighted here that are part of the team that aren't here with us. So please stay tuned with us.
We have Larry Jones. He's on with the morning, our guy Larry. Steve Thorne, Marcus Mack. He does the new sports, our sports director. So these gentlemen will be hopefully calling in the future. And we're going to have other celebrations throughout this year. So you'll really want to stay tuned. But most importantly, like Dennis is saying, we want to hear from you, the caller. So by all means, do we have some calls yet, Matt?
Nothing yet.
Well,
okay.
Let's start out with somebody who's been here probably the longest out of everybody in this room involved with WRMN. That would be Jeff Myers. Thank you, sir, for celebrating this with us.
I appreciate that. Is my microphone on? I'm hearing myself a little bit. And I arrived on. I'll hold this up because you've got that great YouTube now. This is the book when I arrived in 1990. I decided we'd take all kinds of notes when things began, so I can open this book and realize the second week I was here, one of the first guests we had on was Dutchie Carey. Harry was busy, probably in the washroom, so Dutchie was on. But we had a great deal. We had a lot of afternoon show and a sports talk show. These are the days that folks will remember Brad Bolin, who was a great newsman, an operations man way back when. You kids would know him a little bit. He was here from 90 to 97, and also Brett Grant, Mike Lawrence, Ben Erickson, folks like that. They were great. Jack Davis, who almost wrapped up just a few years ago. So it was a great core. It was a wonderful time. Rick Jekyll had a great core with him. It was my delight. My heavens, in the first year, we had the FM side as well. That first year, I would host a Saturday night show at 34s with Otis Wilson on Sunday night. Actually, Sunday night at 34s, Otis Wilson would have a Monday night football game. Then on Wednesday night here on AM, Wednesday afternoon on AM, Mark Green, a running back for the Bears, would have a show. So we hopped all over the place. It was very exciting. I was much younger. That's fun. It was great time.
Well, now you're hopping all over the place, too, with working with Marcus Mack and the new Fox Valley Sports Network.
Oh, we were out just last Friday night at Hampshire. What a great crowd. It was a sellout crowd. And Marcus with Tom and his crew put on a great technical crew, and we enjoyed that with Kyle Ball. It was a delight to be back on the air with that. It was exciting and fun, and it was a great time that we had in the press box.
There it is. Thank you very much for being part of the station here.
I am delighted that you would ask me back. It's I love radio, and I know Dean real well over the years, so it's a joy to be involved with radio.
We've done some great things. I remember when I first started coming around, God, it's got to have been 8 years ago at least, maybe 10, and the original stuff upstairs in that little dismal studio.
Yeah,
I did a couple voiceover commercial things. It was for the Sons of Italy at the time. And then we did some Knights of Columbus stuff together. But you were the one that gave me the signals before we had all this YouTube stuff of, like when to go on, when to talk, when not to. So you've always been, I always tell everybody, that's the guy that let me cut my teeth on what this radio show was all about. And I always thank you for that.
You're most kind. All I did was nudge you like that.
Yeah, well, you were a hell of a
red light talk.
Yeah, that's all. No, you did a great job.
We do have a couple comments and also some calls here, too. We've got Gary McNeil, as you know him, my dad, or as you know him, Uncle Gare. When I was in grade school, I would hear Floyd Brown announce first with the news, first with the finest on WRMN. I first went on in summer of 1974 at 18 years old, worked with Ken Kozinski and Vic Massey, would be the sports announcer live. There is still a recording of me in 1974, which I still have yet to find.
We'll search for it.
Very, very nice. And then we do have some callers on hold, so we'll take it to the phone lines here. You're on with WRMN.
Good morning, Matt. George Robinson. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for joining us today.
Some of my favorite memories from WRMN, they are many. But before I get into that, I want to say kudos to Dean and to Dennis. They have turned that station around. We're talking 6 months since March. 6 short months. Look at the community involvement that's embedded now in that station that wasn't there all the time. Mark, of course, is a staple. We love Mark Milak, love him. And two of my favorite news shows, you're great, Matt, we've talked face-to-face, but I love Tammy's show in the afternoon. It's nice to have that gender diversity. And this Marcus Mack, this guy's got it going on. I'm a sports guy, and he knows his stuff, and he's got that energy and enthusiasm. So kudos to everyone in that room for what you've done and the team you've put together. Nothing but good things happening at that radio station. Favorite memories. For 15 years, I would say, every Veterans Day or the Sunday before, we hosted a show called Tribute to the Troops. It was me, it was Steve Thoren, and it was Jeff Myers. And we had veterans, we had United States senators, we had Tammy Duckworth on, a lot of high-profile guests. But it was the ordinary people who did extraordinary things in the service of their country that meant the most to me. But at the same time, and this is an extraordinary accomplishment for a smaller station, we had at one time, over that 15-year span, and Dennis, you'll appreciate this probably most of all, being a veteran, we had 15 Congressional Medal of Honor recipients on the air with us. Wow. Now, there are less than 100 of them alive. We have 15 of them. Now, granted, they're from all over the United States, and they were call-in, but it meant so much. And there are 2 living Medal of Honor recipients in the state of Illinois, Hal Fritz from Peoria, and Alan, name escapes me, it'll come to me, he's from Gurnee. And we had them both on the air. And that was such a testament to what gives that strength, that station, its strength is our belief in our country and paying tribute to the people who served our country in whatever capacity. That's a great memory. Now, on a different note entirely, Jeff Myers, for probably 5 years, Jeff will know for sure, hosted a show called Let's Talk Real Estate. It was a local realtor whose name is Jim Durante. Dean knows him. It was a very scatological show. The first show of 5 years was about real estate. After that, it was anything goes. It was just not about real estate. So anyway, Jim Durante was on vacation one week, and he turned the reins over to Jeff Myers and gave Jeff a script, talk about real estate, talk about listings, talk about home improvements, talk about home equity lines of credit, all kinds of things. Jeff Myers took that script, never opened it up. He did 1 hour of Jeff Myers impersonation. He did everything from Clark Gable to Ronald Reagan to Harry Carey, but my favorite to this day was Rin Tin Tin.
Yeah, that was a great time.
You know what? It was a great. That show should have been nominated for a Peabody. It was unbelievably entertaining.
Well,
he was just like, you know how Jeff gets when he's on a roll, Mark. He was on a 60-minute roll. He was 60 minutes roll. I think, if I remember correctly, Jeff, you stopped at about the 38-minute mark to take a breath. And then I think you caught another breath, maybe it's a 55-minute mark. And it was unbelievable.
Well, live radio keeps you lively.
That's very true. Thank you very much for your thoughts, George.
And thank you, George. You've been a great
Thanks for the call,
fan of the station for years, George Rollinson.
And just know, Dean, how much you mean, and Dennis, how much you mean to me personally, how much you mean to the community, and how much your radio station means.
Thank you very
Hear, hear.
much. We appreciate that.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon.
That's great. Tammy's here. Tammy.
Yeah, she's going to have
Tammy sit down.
I listened to it the other day, and I was thinking maybe I could come back on radio. I heard her show. I can't top that. I can't possibly come back. She's got everything you want to do, entertainment and call-ins. I said, my career is over. That's what I thought that time, but a great show it was. Tammy doesn't need a headset. She knows how to do it.
I'm
there
good.
you go.
I'm good, yeah.
Well, ever since the changeover, when you and Dean took over, and we've tried to add all these local shows, every single freaking show is full of guys. So as we were trying to figure out what we could do to go from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., I said, we gotta add some female talent in here. So Tammy's back, and I like her show. I chime in every day.
Yeah.
2 to 4.
Yeah.
2 to 4, just a little fun something.
Yeah. And now you're back as well, Tammy, because you used to do the radio shopping side of it.
I did.
How is it different moving from radio shopping centric to being able to not necessarily do anything that you want, but pretty close to it?
It's way different because the radio shopping show's got a very specific agenda that we're talking about. And I didn't really stray too often, I stray a lot now.
Yeah.
I'm here.
It's nice, though.
Yeah, well,
Listeners love it.
Yeah, good. We're having a blast doing it too. So we're gonna keep doing it. And if anybody's got any suggestions on topics or things you want to hear about, by all means, the 505. What's our text number? 505
926-1410.
926-1410.
You're close.
Yeah, I knew it was somewhere. I don't have my cheat sheet in front of me.
Yeah, and what I really like about what Mark has put together as far as programming is we're now, instead of being than just this homogenous radio shopping and you just rotate the person, now it's each show has its own personality where you can get a different flavor. Instead of it being a buffet of deals, it's a buffet of talent and ideas that you can pick throughout your day to jump in on some of this. Mark, what do you see some of the changes in how the station is evolving now with some of the program changes? What's your vision with this?
One thing I like is when I'm scheduling guests now, which is kind of a new role for me, I'm not only scheduling guests for my own show. It's kind of cool that I'm able to look at the entire lineup, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and say, where does this guest fit best? Or whether they fit or not, they fit on the radio station now. And we can expand by having this 12-hour time frame every day to talk about what's going on in the Fox River Valley and all up and down Kane County and beyond. We can schedule guests on every different person's show, and that's going to help grow the station too. I know when I first came on in 2016, I walked around here and I said, man, there's just no personality here and I wasn't, the radio shopping show concept, not such a bad concept. I just didn't ever think it made such great radio. And so it's finally an opportunity years later when we're letting go of the radio shopping show concept a little bit to actually start to make great radio and maybe do some of the things I could have wished I was able to do years ago.
Yeah, and it's a content shift. Radio shopping's not going away. It's been around for 50 years of the 75. But I think what ended up happening is it became too much of the station's identity.
Yes.
And I think now what our vision is the identity of the community back to everything. I come from the network side of radio, but it's all about taking it back to the traditional revenue of radio. Radio shopping was a non-traditional radio concept. You don't see them pop up all over the world. So I think going back to the traditional radio practices, I think is what is really going to carry us another 75 years. And back to that being historic and being a staple. I hope to outpace the college is what I'm trying to do.
There was a time when people listened to WRMN to see if schools were closing, to see what the weather is. There's so many different ways to find that out now. But that time where people found out what was going on from WRMN disappeared to a certain extent when the radio shopping show came along. And now it's going to take a little time to regain that new image, that new old image, what we used to provide for the community, because you could talk to a lot of people right now that haven't listened to WRMN for quite a few years, and, oh, that's that radio shopping show station in Elgin. So it's going to take a little time to overcome that, but we will. We'll keep working at it.
Matt, how important is it being a trusted source? Like, there's a lot of information, like Mark said, is I can look up a school closing, or I get an alert, or I do whatever. How important is it to have that second verification of like, okay, let's see what the radio station has to say about it. Yes, I just got the alert. Yes, I could go to a thing, but how important is it to have that second trusted source?
I think it's very important because, not only, of course, do you get the word out, but you also create a relationship with the person who is saying it as well. And the fact that we are local within the Fox River Valley, we can announce the news, we can announce things that are happening, and people can call in, and people can text and come in person and also talk about it with us as well. So it's way more personable as an addition to it, which I think is why that's very important for sure. We do have a couple callers, so we'll definitely want to take it to the phone lines here. Hey, welcome to the show. Hi, you're on with WRMN.
They're traveling through time, 75 years.
We'll take it to the next caller here. You're on with WRMN.
Hello, this is Rita speaking, and I want to wish you a happy 75th year, and I enjoy all of your shows. I have you on all day till you say goodnight at 6. You've all become very special to me. You brighten my day, and just keep up the good work. It is appreciated.
Thank you so much.
We thank you for that, Rita. And Rita's been pretty involved with us in a lot of aspects. You may have heard her call in before. She volunteered at the America First Responders Fest. She was handling the information and first aid booth on the two-way radio in case we had a situation. But she's been a great supporter since a lot of the transition that we've been making. But thank you very much for calling, Rita. Thank you for always listening, and we hope you're going to be a long-time listener.
Oh, I will.
We can say we're educating Rita.
That's right.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Rita.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rita.
Bye-bye now. We do have a comment here on the Image 360 line from Linda as a suggestion, a block party, she says. Block party, question mark?
Absolutely. We're in it. We're definitely going to be doing something, but, working in the city of Elgin, sometimes it's difficult with permits and what have you, and getting the proper time because they have a lot going on down here. So as soon as we're able to slate that in, we have a whole year to celebrate these 75 years. So we're going to have a nice little thing right here, like a grand opening. We're going to be a part of that. What's that Nightmare on
Chicago Street.
Yeah,
October 19th, that would be.
Yeah, we're going to be doing, when is that?
October 19th.
That's October the 19th.
yeah.
So we're going to be doing a lot of different things.
You have to say Nightmare on Chicago Street.
That's Nightmare on Chicago Street.
There you go.
I got to get the Ron Burgundy stuff from Jeff over here. That's our Ron Burgundy. You know, one thing, too, I want to mention to you. You know, when you see Tammy sitting down, not only it's the right thing to do because she's a lady, and I try to be a gentleman the way my parents brought me up, but Dennis and me, our job here, and that's why I stand in the back of the talent, is to support. We do an upside-down pyramid. Anything we could do to support anybody in this room. And again, you don't see Bruce Shipyer on the camera here, but he's a photographer that's been around from the beginning of time with everybody. They do that Elgin, what's that thing you guys
Elgin
do?
Today.
Elgin Today.
Program.
And they do video as well. But each one of these individuals in the room that we're sharing, this is our team, okay? I mean, we got Ryan, we got Matt, we got everybody. We have the people that I mentioned that they're not in studio because of other commitments they have. That's Steve Thorne, Larry as well. And then our guy Larry, he's the best. He's on the morning show with Mark. And then, of course, Marcus. He does a great job on our sports. But again, our job is to support these programs, these innovations. We want to be here for a long time, and this is what we do. So we'll gladly give our seat up to anybody because we don't have that boss mentality. We both come from a service background with the different charities I've been involved in, as well as Dennis with the military, police and fire. We get the chain of command, but more importantly, we respect the people that we work with. We try to work side by side. I don't know where Ben is. We got to get him out of the control room because you got to see. I know you see Ben on the 4 o'clock show, a political talk show, but Ben has so much to offer to us, and each and every one in this room. I just can't express enough how important everybody in this room is to both of us and to you, the listener, because you're the one that's getting the end result. We hope you're going to continue to like it, and I'm going to give Dennis back the seat because he has a few more questions for people.
We do have a couple more callers. Let's see if we can get this back up here. You're on with WRMN.
Hey.
Well, hello. Is this Marcus?
What's going on, guys?
Good to hear from you.
He's traveling.
He's traveling. How you doing today?
Oh, man. Finally got a little break and a chance to call in and celebrate the 75th anniversary with you guys. And it's just so awesome. Glad to hear people calling in and just to hear all the wonderful stories about the history of the station. And so to be a part of the team and to be a part of this new format moving forward is just a great experience. And, yeah, I just have to reiterate what I've heard from earlier, man. Shouts out to Dennis and shouts out to Dean for helping to pave the way to get this thing kicked off and, get it changed around. And, yeah, I'm really, really excited to see all the big things that we're going to be able to do as a team moving forward for the community.
Marcus, let's talk a little bit about the rejuvenized sports, I guess, department that we're starting to build over here with you and Jeff. What do you see some of the future of what you guys cover as far as the community?
Oh, man. I mean, right now we're doing Fox Valley Nights, which is we're featuring our Friday night foot high school football. We're doing a Hampshire High School. I'm hoping that in the future we're looking to expand. I want to get the Elgin area involved, get some more Fox Valley areas involved, and so that we could definitely be able to highlight and showcase the young kids out there putting in all the hard work. They get a chance to be showcased on YouTube, streamed across the radio. I just think that's great. If I could have had an opportunity for my brother who played 4 years of high school, rest in peace, if I could have had the chance to have watched him on YouTube back in the day or be able to listen to him on the radio, these were things that I never got a chance. You had to literally go to physically every game to be able to see him play. So these type of opportunities to be able to give back to the community in that type of way with sports is just amazing.
Jeff, with some of the old school practices that you have with this new school YouTube technology, Where do you see kind of you and Marcus kind of blending those two?
Oh gosh, we did a game on Friday night, as he mentioned. It was great to realize you can be seen. Although I have to get a face change probably. But also, you're heard on the conventional radio as well. So it was great. Marcus had a great crew with him. Pretty tough to climb those tall steps at Hampshire High and set that up in a window of time. So that worked out very well. And again, we'll expand from the Whippers and into Elgin and Larkin and their franchises as well. It should be a fun rebirth of sports led by Marcus.
That's really great. And then, of course, the program director is helping us organize so many of these different things. The different departments, Mark, like you were saying, is now we've got funnels to kind of put some of these things together. Where do you see the sports department kind of growing even outside of the radio station?
Well, I'm pretty excited about it because that's really how I got my radio start, was in play-by-play, sports play-by-play. And I've been a sports director before, so to have sports as an aspect of our station is cool. Marcus is going to be on from 10 to 12 every Saturday, which is a good time because it's right before the college football games start Saturday. He can preview all the Sunday NFL games. If there was a game like on Thursday night in the NFL, he can talk about that. And it gives me someone to talk sports with besides my partner Larry Jones, too, which I like because I still follow sports to a certain degree. So it's cool to have a sports department back here at WRMN and to have Marcus on board. And, yeah, really looking forward to that.
Marky B's modest. He's a kicking star with the 1987 Elgin Maroons. How many extra points?
I think I'm number 1,149 on the all-time scoring list at Elgin High School with 22 points.
22 points.
22 points.
7 Maroons.
Yeah.
It's a solid team.
Great.
I missed 3 extra points. Once we prove ourselves, Marcus, as a Fox Valley sports...
You're going to kick?
Well, I might do that.
For charity?
I was going to say we got to change the name of his show to be the truth about Fox Valley sports, not the truth about Chicago sports.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Marcus, talk a little bit about the guys who are on before you that we've brought on to talk about some of those pro-am teams.
Yeah, so last week we kicked off the Saturday morning sports fest where it starts out with Rise Up, 8 to 10. That's with Derek and Mike. And then I come following me, myself, and Rico G with the Truth About Chicago Sports. And so you basically get a great 4 hours now of your Sunday morning of just a good sports recap, what's been going on in the week, a sports preview of what's going to be happening for Sunday and the following days after that. And, you know, the thing about it is that there's not a lot of areas in radio where you can get the opportunity to talk sports. In this town, there's really about 3 stations, and they're locked down. They've got who they got, and that's it. So to be able to come into a situation where I'm allowed to work from the ground up, the department to start to build and to see it starting to build from literally day one, and now to be able to add more people to the team and to be able to expand the show and expand our range of what we can cover, including pro sports and pro amateur sports. It is a great opportunity for not only the station, but just also people in the community to be able to reconnect again in that great feeling of sports because, you know, where we're at, what I've noticed, a lot of people don't believe it or not, don't really get the Chicago sports channels that well. They're the stations is kind of actually a little bit harder. So when you're here now in the Fox Valley area, you got a station that's right there for you. You can listen to comfortably. And if you do have any issues hearing us for some reason, we've got the app. I love that. We got the WRMN app that you can listen to us if you were in Australia with that. So it's just a
like
great
someone does.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a great opportunity for everyone to just, you know, sit back on a Saturday morning. You wake up, you know, after a hard, long week of work, kick back and just let us handle the heavy lifting for you on WRMN and enjoy a great morning of sports.
Thank you, Marcus. Look forward to hearing you more on the station here.
Definitely, man. Thank you guys for bringing me in, for letting this department come in and be built. And hopefully we have another tremendous 75 years on our plate.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Steve Thorne just texted in. I think he's still trying to get into the phone lines. He said it was busy. I'm sure you've got all 4 lines locked up over there.
I have one here.
Oh, you've got one? Let's see if you got one. But he said, is it Steve?
No, it's Larry.
Okay. Well, one moment before we get to you, as we're transitioning Larry over. But Steve Thorne just said that the mayor is going to give a proclamation right at the next city council meeting, Wednesday, September 25th, and he will do a proclamation about WRMN's 75th anniversary. Awesome. And that's the great part about all of this is all of the different connections within the community that we make, and in real time. That's the best part of what I like about Mark's new lineup for everything is that there's so much of it that is live that we can have these conversations in real time. Even that's the first shift is almost about is that wake up morning call for everybody in that real time. Hey, I just woke up. Happy morning to everybody. Or as you say, Dean, God morning to everyone.
I think it's great that the mayor's going to make that proclamation because I think there needs to be a strengthening of the relationship between the radio station and the city of Elgin. I think there's been a little bit of a disconnect, maybe because we've been a radio shopping show station for so long that perhaps if the city of Elgin and the radio station can start to work with each other again, it's going to be good for both of us. They can use us as a place that can get their message out. And they can value us more than they could when we were just a radio shopping show station like we've been for 40-plus years.
And one of the things you've developed very strongly is with Chief Anna Lally. She comes on every Friday. And I'm telling you, you talk about a progressive police chief and people that, she's really got the people behind her. Her department is strong, and we've got a great relationship with them. In fact, we've been able to share all of those real-time Facebook because people are wanting to know what's going on in the community, and that's due to a relationship that happened here with Marky and the radio station. And I think she has confidence in, what the messages that we're giving. And she has a great show. You don't want to miss that on Fridays. But I just want to chime in on just how important it is to get the community behind you. And again, our goal is the Fox River Valley, who we represent. Yeah, we're based in Elgin. But yes, I think we can open the communication a little broader. We've got the Elgin Chamber of Commerce, Carol Giese, she does a great job. We've got the Downtown Neighborhood Association.
The Jennifer Foucault.
Oh, is she great. One's better than the other that we've been working with.
Well, one who's better than most of us and somebody that we don't deserve to be as part of the station because of his wit and charm. That, of course, is our friend Larry. Thank you, sir, for all of your support throughout these years.
Well, I almost thought you weren't introducing me there.
I needed to build it up just for you.
There's that wit and charm.
I was thinking, gosh, I got to sit and wait and listen to somebody else talk for a while. Well, anyway, listen. I'm kind of sorry I couldn't be down there. I've been listening for a while, and there's nothing that I can say that wouldn't echo what's been said, except I can tell you, as a guy whose family settled and came to Elgin when he was 3, WRMN has played a part of my life and my family for all those years, and certainly the last 10 years that I've been allowed to stop in and play whatever part it is. And it's so exciting when I was listening and thinking about Marcus, and I was thinking about everything, to hear a real effort made to become the community's radio station again. I think that is so important, and I really hope that people are able in the world we live in now to say, there is a focal point, and it's easy for me to be in touch with. It's right there, and I hope that's the case.
It's been great working with you, Larry, for the last 7 years. I never thought it would be 7 years, but I
didn't either, but I didn't think one beer with you would take 7 years.
No kidding. I mean, I walked in here 2016. Larry was doing a show with Jeff Ward at the time. It was a political show. And then several months later, Jeff left the station, and I thought Larry was going to leave the station too. And I looked around, and everybody else besides myself doing the morning show was so focused on radio shopping. And I thought, gosh, I can't let Larry go. We've got to keep some personality around here. What can I do to save Larry from leaving? I don't know if he has any confidence in me as a radio broadcaster yet, but Larry, let's go out and have a beer and talk about it. And thankfully we did. Mm-hmm. And and thankfully Larry decided to take a chance on it. And it took a little while for the chemistry to work, and we've moved around some different slots, but eventually we finally found that morning slot together, and it's really made my life a lot easier to have Larry alongside of me for all these years.
Well, I have to tell you, and I don't want to get too gushy because I've made a lot of friends because of the show, whether it's people around that have come and gone there, the listeners, the people I know from them. But you're always going to be my pal. I want you to know that. I was a little, you were so quiet when you produced that Ward and Jones show that when we met, I was thinking, well, I think I'll enjoy it. I like talking to you, but I don't know how it's all going to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You were really a quiet guy then. And so, then, of course, I came thinking I needed to do all the talking, and I still haven't been able to break that habit. So,
well, it's been great, and I think that one of the things that the first shifters like about the morning show, Larry, both you and me, and even when I'm by myself sometimes, is that I've always felt like every listener matters. And we've, everybody that has taken the time to ride by the radio station, moving downstairs was a great move in early 2017, but it was like the last move. I mean, we were in the dungeon upstairs, which once upon a time was a great radio station.
An upstairs dungeon.
Yeah.
Like, how'd you pull that off? That was
Yeah, right?
It was a big studio.
So we moved down here in 2017, in May of 2017, and we thought, well, this is the great step in the right direction. And it was. But the programming, because of the radio shopping show, really never took too many more steps forward. So this allows us to be able to do that. It's taken a long time, but it finally allows us, and new ownership, and it finally allows us to do that now. So, but being able to actually see the listeners go by, once upon a time, it would be like one or two people in the morning, Larry, say honking or waving or whatever, and it just grew one listener at a time, and that's what it took to put this whole big first shift thing together.
One other thing, though, and I'm sure there's some other people that want it. One other thing that I think, though, and this is because of you, Mark, when COVID started and the city was shutting down, I remember saying to you, what do you want to do? And you said to me, I think we should still keep coming in here. And I thought, yeah, we should keep coming here. And again, sometimes I get a little dramatic, but I thought it was really important for people who are going through something like we've never seen in our lives to see a certain amount of sameness still going on. Mm-hmm. And I'll always think that was the right thing to do, Mark. And I mean, certainly if you would have said to me, I don't know if we should be here, I would have said, yeah, you're probably right. But I think your decision that we were going to keep coming to work and we were going to be there, I think that was a really strong thing to do.
Well, I guess I'm a little bit of a renegade, and I was a little bit of a rebel when it came to COVID, too. I didn't want the world to shut down, and I didn't believe it needed to shut down. And so from my standpoint, I wasn't necessarily as fearful of COVID as other people were. So I thought, I'm coming in. Who wants to join me? And so a lot of people did what they felt like was best for them, and that's fine. Everybody has their own beliefs, but to be able to wake up every day and be able to have a show to be a part of when everybody, a lot of the rest of the world had disappeared, was pretty important.
Pull that idea a little bit further. Has the station always been a station where people can freely give those ideas, even if they are a counter to maybe the general population? Or is that something that you guys have started to develop?
Well, I mean, I don't know if we'll ever be called upon to make a decision like that again. You know what I mean?
I hope not.
Yeah. I hope not. I think it was just something that I just looked at Mark and thought, and I agree with Mark. I wasn't afraid of COVID, but I was scared to death of what it was going to do to us. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's really the way I felt about it. And so I knew I had to be out. My partner that passed away, not because of COVID, had too many conditions to be out. I was out doing everything for the house anyway. So to me, it just made sense. That's all. It just made sense. And I really wanted people, I just thought, they need to turn on the radio and hear. They need to know there's still stuff going on, you know?
In a time when maybe people started to think that radio was becoming less important, which maybe it has in some people's lives over the years, maybe this gave us a chance to make radio and AM radio important again. So we did that, and I forgot what else I was going to say.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah,
That's okay.
That's why
It's
you're
that
the
time of the
morning
day.
man.
Yeah,
You're the morning man.
It was something really intelligent, though. I promise you that.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of the way. But anyway, I appreciate all the time you let me come there, and I realize there are many times I probably say something that maybe Dean's driving into work, and he goes, "Oh, geez." Or Sonar probably goes, "Oh, God." Or I know Mark, I can see it in his eyes. But I do appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to do that. And I appreciate the friendships I've gained in my time there as well.
Thank you, Larry. We appreciate you and your support.
Thanks, Larry.
Okay, guys. All right. Have a good
Larry will be
I
in.
ended it too early.
Bye, Larry.
Bye.
Larry, he'll be in tomorrow morning from 7 until 9 with me once again. And I know what I was going to say now. It's when I first started with Larry on Mondays in the 8 o'clock hour, for whatever reason, because it was a show that had been on the air for a long time on WRMN, it was called It's Your Turn. And it was supposedly the 1 hour where people could call and say anything they wanted about anything that was on their mind. And when Larry and I started, as the years went on, we say, why do we have this It's Your Turn? It's always your turn on our show. And so I thought there's no reason for having It's Your Turn anymore. And now it's that way all the way from 6 until 6. It's your turn 12 hours a day here on WRMN. So that's the positiveness of this whole expansion.
Brad Brolin brought It's Your Turn up from Quincy, a way to talk to folks and get more on the serious side. But yeah, you're right. The phone lines are always open and the radio's always happening, so it always works.
It's true. And where do you think that feedback loop is really starting to take off, Jeff? The being able to have that almost instant communication back with the listener. Has that always been something that WRMN has strived to do, to get that community motor into it? I mean, because that's the flow, is we put out the message and we hope that somebody gives us that feedback of, no, I went to that thing, or no, you gave the address wrong, or, oh, I love that you guys did this over here, or, hey, what's happening over there? That feedback loop being faster, do you think that is what's going to really drive this engine, or how do you see it?
I'm sure most of the time, for the history of the station, 75 years, the great Floyd Brown would be your morning man way back when. He would tell you if the 311 train was on time. He would keep you informed with that, and it's always been a great factor. Your morning man tells you everything going on, and everybody's comfortable with that, the weather, and what else is going on in the city. So with that live aspect and pure information like Marky B and company have, you can't go wrong with that. You feel comfortable in your home base. And that's really what your local radio stations are all about. Hey, he's taking care of me, just me.
There it is. Delivering personalized messages, talking right to the listener. I think that's the best way to do it.
Everything over time, I mean, not everything, but a lot of things, whether it's fashion, whether it's music, whether it's a lot of things are cyclical. Right? And it seems like in our world in the last 10, 15 years with social media, the world's become such a much more impersonal place where people don't communicate with each other anymore. I'm a prime example. I prefer to text message instead of talk on the telephone. I've become one of those people to a certain degree. But I think that because it's cyclical, there's going to be it's coming back around to where you want your information delivered to you by a human being and not just by a computer or by Facebook or a text message or whatever. So I think that's why AM radio still has a chance to get better and better as we move forward, when it may have been a time when people thought it was fading.
So more talk, less text? Is that your...
Probably. I need to work on that, too. Well, Dean will tell you.
We do have a caller on hold, and I know that we've been having a couple comments coming in through here, too. So we can acknowledge some of the comments here. Gary says we were also on the air when the whole town was boarded up as well. Sandy says, love the chemistry between Mark and Larry. We've got Faith in the comments here. Gary, totally agreeing with everything that you said. Thanks for the memories, and thank you for giving us Matt and Ryan.
Here.
Great.
Hey.
Oh, very nice. Thank you. And then we got Carol here saying, don't forget about the great Tim Skoning as well.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about Tim Skoning. Do you remember him, Jeff?
I do not, I must confess.
Okay. That must have been start of the beginning. Yeah. Because there's been a lot of history through WRMN. I mean, Mark was talking about moving studios. The studios used to be a couple doors down, and then it moved upstairs, and then now it's come down here. So I think that is where Dean and I are now moving the studio again, and we're moving the studio out to you, to the listener, to the places that you already are. We're starting to do a lot more of the live streaming out there at parades, at events. I mean, even just this weekend, we did a football game, a festival, and a parade. We had a hat trick weekend, and I cannot wait to do that every single weekend. Have something, have a place that we can be at, because WRMN needs to be just like everything else around here and just permeate throughout the community to where it's more of a question of, I thought WRMN was going to be here, to a, where is WRMN? Let me find them. They're here somewhere. Let's go out there as like a Where's Waldo type of thing. You said you had a caller there, Matt?
I do, yes. So we'll take it to the phones. Hi there, caller. You're on with WRMN.
I don't want to monopolize your time, but 4 quick WRMN historical anecdotes, and you may or may not know some of these, and Dennis will find this first one particularly interesting. I think Tom Shales, and Jeff knows Tom Shales. Tom Shales was a preeminent television critic. He wrote for the Washington Post for 25 years.
Wow.
Pulitzer Prize winner, which is as big as it gets in that field. Mm-hmm. And where did he get his start? WRMN. He was a radio voice at WRMN in the 1970s. Jeff knows a story about Tom Shales getting busted trying to leave early one night. I think it's a story Tim Stoney told on the air, sneaking down those stairs because he loved Carol Burnett. He wanted to go home and watch the Carol Burnett show. He was walking down the stairs. I think his boss at the time, Jeff, was Floyd Brown, and Floyd was walking up when he was walking down. That's great. Number one. Number two, go ahead.
He had to be home at 9 o'clock for Carol Burnett. Exactly. In those days, no VCR.
Yeah, and he was just like kind of mailing it in, pre-programming an hour.
That's a great story.
He was going to do it. When Brad Bowen was a great morning man. When he left, Jack Davis took over, and Jack Davis. And this is 20 years ago, I suppose, Jeff.
Yeah,
25 years.
Brad started in 1990, January.
Okay. And when Jack took over, he also took over Your Turn. It's Your Turn. I like Jack. Jack was a good guy, but he was the master of understatement. And every caller comment, he was not Marky B and Larry. He wasn't much on the input side of things. You could say, Jack, I just got a report that there are nuclear missiles heading toward Elgin. And what did he say, Jeff? He answered with one adverb. Indeed. Yeah. Indeed. Indeed. Yes, Jack, I just killed my wife and our family dog. I'm sitting here in the apartment by myself. Indeed. That was it. I guess that was his way of just kind of bringing more conversation. Dean had mentioned Anna Lally. We love Anna Lally. Great police chief, great community service representative. That show was originally, Dennis, and you may not remember this, when Michael Green and Michael Hunsinger hosted the show on Fridays with the police chief. It was originally called, and the police chief then was Jeff Swoboda.
Yeah.
Prince Charming, good-looking guy, knight in shining armor. And the show was called Fridays with the Fuzz.
Yeah.
I hated that. I thought, how pejorative, how disrespectful, Fridays with the Fuzz. And I said something to Michael Hunsinger. I said something to Michael Green. And Michael Hunsinger, to his credit, said, we'll come up with something better. And Dean knows how compulsive I am. I'm obsessive about things. And I would stay up calling all cars, police story, Chief Chat. Nothing really resonated. And then one day, a couple of years ago, I guess, Dean and Jeff and I and Mark were on a show called Anything Goes, and we're just chit-chatting. And I mentioned how much I hated that title. And some caller, and Mark, was it Robles Ralph who called?
It was Robles Ralph. Yep, he's the guy.
said, well, why don't you change it to Fridays with the Finest? I said, wow, there it is. That was it right there. It was right there in my face. And I tell you, like Larry Jones has a capacity for coming up with these great one-liners or great pulling these great titles out of the air. I couldn't do it. And, boy, Robles hit a home run, a grand slam with Fridays with the Finest, and it's been called that ever since.
There it is. Hey, we have to pause for the station ID. Will you do the honors there, Jeff?
Serving the community for 75 years. We are WRMN, Elgin, Illinois.
Thank you, sir. That's, another 75 years is what we want in around here. And what better voice to do the ID for us? We are continuing to take your calls as we go through the celebration of 75 years here at WRMN. Dean and I have only been here on the management side of things for less than a year now, but we want to take it back to WRMN's roots of a community radio station. And the only way that we can learn what the roots were of this radio station is from you, the listener, who have been part of this growth and the sustainability of the radio station here. You don't see call letters or any station staying its original side hardly ever. I mean, the heritage stations of the 3 letters, they'll stay forever, and WGN isn't dropping it. But I think the way that Dean and I are moving it towards is WRMN is kind of getting a new branding for everything. Do you remember what the RMN stood for, Dean?
Yeah, that was the George Ralston and Jerry Miller were actually the founders, and that was the children's name of Ralston, which is Richard, Mary, and Nancy.
Wow. We used to use WRMN occasionally. Richard Milhouse Nixon.
How would he sound if he was to say it?
I, of course, would like to say this.
We have to get one of your impersonations.
And what we're trying to do is we're actually going to move it to River Media Network, because we are part of the Fox River Valley, and we want to make sure that that is our identity, is to follow what everyone in the Fox River Valley really wants and needs, from entertainment to news to politics to just a place where you're able to get up on our soapbox and express yourself. And that's where I believe that most radio stations should be, and we're going to be that example.
And I think there's not a one of us in this room that can't get on their own soapbox and talk for hours on end. The idea is we want your comments, and we keep asking for your comments. We get a host of them through the info at WRMN.com, 1410.com, as well as my email, which is put out there, and everybody else that's in this room. So we take very seriously the comments that are made. You know, a lot of people talking about the different things we're moving forward. We're going to do kind of like an around town that Anna Belival does on WGN, and you got it. A lot of things that we're doing here is we tend to emulate a lot of what WGN does. They're a success, they're a hit. If anybody has ever seen the morning show or any other the news shows that are out there, other programming that they have live from their station, it's all class act stuff. I mean, from the days of the Bozo show to what they have now. And somebody draw that comparison on the morning show because they have a lot of fun. And that's what we want to do. We want to have a lot of fun here. We want to make that, you're comfortable in making your phone calls in. Myself and Matt are going to get out to the Fox River Valley, and we're going to start introducing a lot of these different businesses. Ron Onesti from the Arcata will be joining us in the very near future. I mean, we have so many different people. Bloomingdale, we have Tony Spavoni, who's going to be doing some pieces with us. So we've got a lot of great talent in the area, and we want to share it with everybody. But we want to hear, hey, what do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? Our political shows, we're trying to give you the facts, which is more what News Nation is all about. News Nation presents the facts, and they say, okay, let's talk about it. What do you have to say? I'm a guy that I believe in a certain thing. I'll tell you my position, and then either convince me otherwise or give me a fact for something otherwise for me to consider. This is what we want to be here at WRMN. The divisive days, we don't need that. We don't want debates. We're looking for discussions. All old stuff you've heard me say, but I'm going to say it until it resonates, until people get it, that this is what we're trying to do. So be a part of that. That's what we want you to be a part of. What do you think, Mark?
Well, I've been around probably the longest, except for this guy Myers now. But I've been here day to day for the longest of any of us right now. So I'm privy to some people's digits, like Tim Sconing. I'm not sure if he's called yet, but I asked him if he would call in a few minutes and join us this hour. We were talking about Tim just a few minutes ago. So let us know when he's on the air, Matt. He's a guy who was a news reporter here in the 1960s, Jeff.
Wow.
And he started calling, and he listens every day. And he was actually at America's First Responders Fest the other day. I've seen him at the Moose Lodge a few times. He lives in the Dundee area now. And a couple of years ago, we kept on playing these jingles, which we now have to re-find again because we put it in a new system. But he said, those jingles you guys play are the same ones that we got when I was working here back in the 1960s. Yeah, and it's so funny that I hear you guys play them on the radio station now. So that's kind of how Tim Sconing started to reconnect with the radio station a couple of years ago when he started to call the morning show every once in a while. So he may call here in a minute.
Yeah, we're going to be digging those out.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're classic, aren't they?
Yeah, they're cool. They're like part of classic radio.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Another thing about the political spectrum, Dean.
There we go.
Fox River Valley, the more will this sky roll. I'm the north, south, east, and west, but there's one place I love the best. It's the Fox River Valley, Fox River Valley. I call it my home.
Yeah.
There's the roar of St. Charles, Geneva, and Elgin, up and down that river. Algonquin and Dundee, McKendree, South Elgin. I ride there in my flivver. I'm the north, south, east, and west, but there's one place that I love the best. It's the Fox River Valley, Fox River Valley. I call it my home.
I don't know what kind of a dog that is barking in there.
You always do the ending for it, man. I call it my home.
Yeah, but we also have like a weather jingle and a news jingle, and Tim was calling about those jingles too that he heard on the radio station. What I was going to say about the politics, I mentioned this on my show this morning, Dean. Now that we are 6 to 6, even though we are going to concentrate a lot and be able to cover local political races and have the candidates in talking about the issues, talking about themselves, things of that nature. Sonar's a big fan of that, and he and Ben on their show in the afternoons will cover all that from 4 to 6 after Tammy's show. But I was thinking this morning, because we're 6 to 6, when there's a big national issue, whether it's political or any kind of news, we can also talk about that during the day because we've had these national shows on, but if you were ever trying to call one of those national shows to be a part of it, your chances of getting on weren't very good. Now we could actually talk about local and national issues locally as it affects our people here in the Fox River Valley.
And it applies to any one of the shows that you have in a new programming. Tammy as well. I mean, Tammy is well-versed in talking about any type of a topic, and with the ladies that are on with her, as well as some of the gentlemen callers you get as well. We're not trying to make it an all-girl thing. But sincerely, she's got a great background in it, and I know Tammy would be able to host any one of those situations. What do you think, Tam?
I think absolutely. That's one of the things I like about this program format is we can talk about anything there. So it's lifestyle, it's open, and whatever's happening, what current events are going on, it's definitely a good format to talk about it.
When did you first reach out to the station, Tammy? About 5 years ago or something like that? Or is it?
I was reading in the Daily Herald, you guys had an article on the front page of the Daily Herald celebrating, well, it had to be, 35, 40 years of the shop. I think it was a shop show.
Yeah.
It was a shop show article. And I'm like, wait a minute, there's a radio station down the street from me? What's happening? And because I've had a degree in broadcast journalism since the 80s. And so I guess that was 2018 maybe, or 2019,
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
So at that time, you reached out to me, and we started chatting, and we needed some part-time help. And I said, yeah, I'd like to have you come aboard here, but it's radio shopping is what we do, and so you had to do that.
I said I can do that.
Yeah, but I think all that time, that's not really what you had in mind when you wanted to get back into radio, right?
I don't think anybody ever had that in mind when they wanted to get into radio.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, maybe. I don't know. Did you have that in mind, Matt?
For Shop Show?
Yeah.
I went along with it.
Yeah.
I was here for the experience. I was here to learn how to do. And actually, to be honest with you, I didn't even plan on being in radio.
Right.
It was just something that kind of happened.
And look where you ended up.
Yeah.
How about it? Another thing, too, is we talk about the programming. In the near future, we're going to also be able to break into the broadcast, no matter what's on, 6 to 6, or some of the other programming for some of the violent weather we've been having. So we're putting together like a little, if you want to call it a emergency weather
jingle.
I don't know so much it'll be a jingle, but it won't probably be good news. Yeah, if we're going to be breaking in. But we do have the ability with what Dennis has put together. We have 2 locations that we're going to be able to broadcast from, and we'll be able to give live what's going on, God forbid, of any tornadoes, and that's 24 hours a day. So look for that in the near future. That's coming. But you know what? We also want to put on, we got a guy that's been around for some time as well, been at a radio shopping. I'm going to let his brother introduce him to you. There you go.
I've got my other half, my twin, my brother Ryan, coming onto the stage here. Sounds like you're doing good. You look very nice, of course.
Oh, thank you.
It means I look. It means I look nice too. So, tell us a little bit about your experience with WRMN. Very similar to mine, but you came a little bit later on the scene too.
I did, yeah. So I came around July of 2019, and that's when I started working in the Redemption Center for the radio shopping show. And yeah, it was a wonderful experience, coming here and learning about everyone and how the radio works, and not just the shop show, but just other aspects of the community and how it can, and how the radio, how WRMN can connect with the community. And I'm really excited to see where this place is going to go with expanding the community. Pardon?
Oh, no, you're good.
They were whispering behind your back.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to see what the Redemption Center is going to be like, in the next couple of months, turning it into the community center. And I'm just really excited to connect with the people. And I'm just really excited about everything. I see a really bright future for this place.
And you're here for it too, buddy,
Yeah.
of course. And I have also noticed your confidence has gone up too.
I need some work, but it's going up.
Well, I do too. I do too, absolutely. So, everyone's got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And you've been doing such a great job manning the Redemption Center, better than I ever could do it. I mean, really, you're very organized when it comes to it. You make sure that stuff gets done. You make sure that things are put in its place. And we're happy to have you here, of course.
Well, I appreciate it. And I hope to be here as long as I can. And like I said before, I'm just really excited to see what God has in plan for me and for the radio station.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being on the air.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
You guys are too nice to each other. You ever box?
My brothers would be hitting me right now.
Supposed to box or something?
They're like twins.
No, we're very close.
Matt, we should say you're a great versatile talent too, because you're able to host different formatted shows and do that. Each is different, so that takes a degree of flexibility.
Oh yes, it does. I enjoy it though.
And you
very
went from hosting, not even being a radio host, to hosting the radio shopping show, to basically, can't think of a better word, so I'll just say, to being told, we're not doing radio shopping show anymore, but you still got your 3 hours. What you going to do with that? So you're really having to morph into more aspects of radio and different things to do and put together a radio show every day. It's helping you learn a lot more about a lot of different things, isn't it?
Oh yeah. To be honest, when I heard about that, I wasn't nervous. I was excited. I was like, oh my goodness, there's so much more that I can talk about. There's so much coverage. Because when it came to Shop Show, it was only specifically talking about those Shop Show businesses. But there were a lot of things along the way. When I had done research, I was like, oh, why don't we talk about this place over here? I've been here. Oh, but they're not on Shop Show. We can't discuss it. Or other experiences too on places that I've been to or places I'd like to go to. So the fact that we're able to expand on that now has been amazing. There's so much I can talk about. Now I'm even learning to try to condense it a bit more and not go all over the place because there's so much to talk about. And not just within Elgin, but within the Fox River Valley as well, too. So there's
and
always
with
stuff going on.
that allows us to grow a little bit more with the radio shopping side too, because now we can actually find the best restaurants and then tailor a package with them, as opposed to saying, well, we can only do what we've already got in the inventory. And I think that's going to be a benefit to our radio shopping listeners as well. And Ryan talked about the Redemption Center changing into a community center. I think a lot of that is where we've changed the different ways to communicate and be involved with what we do here. The community center is just going to be another arm of our content, where that is the live interaction content, the meet people, shake a hand, let's see a face type of thing, hear a voice that wasn't digitized in some kind of way. Come in here with a book signing. I can't sign a book through the air, but we can talk about it. And I think this multimedia approach, this multiple format approach, is where we're really going to shine with accentuating what the community has to offer, because we get to be part of the interaction and part of the content right there with them, and then expand that into the AM radio dial, the YouTube side, the archiving of everything. In case you did miss something, I hope to eventually start covering more of the chamber meetings and more of the meetings where people can't get out to them, and then archiving them. Yeah, they don't have to hit the AM airwaves, but if you go to the website, you'll be able to say, oh, well, I missed that city council meeting. Where can I go to get it? Oh, here's the link to it. Even if we didn't film it or we didn't stream it ourselves, you're still back to that one trusted source for community involvement. And I think Ryan put it really well, of just that excitement to see what God has in store for the future.
Very nice. Yes, thank you for that. We do have a caller on hold. I think I know who it is.
Oh, go ahead.
Is this who I think it is with WRMN?
Hi, man. It's Tim Sconing.
Oh, it's Tim.
Sconing.
Oh,
Tim
my goodness.
Sconing.
Well, thank you for being on hold.
How you doing, Tim?
You know, a voice from the 60s.
Thanks for calling, Tim. You feeling okay today?
Yeah, I feel good.
Yeah?
You sound good.
A voice from the 60s, that must mean you're old, man.
Well, I was thinking as I was on hold, you know, I roughly was working for WRMN in the 60s, and now it's 2024, so what are we talking about? 65 years. I'm probably the oldest person, the oldest live resource that you all have about what went on at WRMN. In fact, I remember as a child, I remember Elgin before WRMN, and the buzz around the neighborhood about Elgin is going to have a radio station.
Yeah. And I remember the stories that you've told us on the airwaves, Tim. Maybe you could even repeat a couple of those this morning about, for one, you thought you were a celebrity because you were in Elgin back in the day when you were on WRMN, right?
Well, I'm embarrassed, and I went back to find as many people as I can to apologize to for my behavior, but in those days, everybody listened to WRMN in the morning for the news, and those are the days when we did news broadcasts of every lost cat and fender bender and everything like that. And, of course, everybody tuned in their AM radio to hear the news in the morning, and, oh, it's Tim Sconing, and then I would go around town and I would cash a check or I would speak and somebody would recognize me. And I was, you know, like a young Elvis Presley or something. And it was, I didn't know how to behave in those days. So I embarrassed myself when I look back. But that's just the way it was when you're 18 or 19 and everybody in town thinks you're a big deal. And I was the news person, and I was on the radio all the time in the morning, and everybody listened, and you know, it was quite a big deal.
How long did you last? How many years did you do that in the 60s?
I think I was here a 3 years.
Wow.
And then I went, I got a job up in, I think, Minnesota. I went up to Mankato, Minnesota, to an NBC station up there.
Wow.
I thought I was ready, to really step it up. And I stepped it up, and I stepped right in it is what happened. But then after a while, I got kind of tired of it and wanted to try something else. So I eventually, after maybe 7 or 8 years, I got out of the broadcasting business. But they were good years. They were great years. And, of course, I tell everybody today I have the mind of a 30-year-old. I really do. I can remember so many things that went on at WRMN and so many stories. Some I probably can't tell, really, because lawyer letters would be coming. But
where was the studio when you broadcast?
It was right where it is now, except it was upstairs.
Oh, okay.
It was upstairs, and where the station is now was a jewelry store. It was, I think, Shockey Jewelers or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's next door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a big deal because we had heavy armament up on that back stairway deal and the back bathrooms. They had bars and all kinds of stuff because the insurance company for the jewelry store thought it would be very easy for somebody to come up the back steps, break into the radio station, saw a hole in the floor of the radio station, and drop down into the jewelry store.
Wow.
That was big talk in those days.
Wow.
So that bathroom, I don't know if the bathroom is still up there facing the alley and all that, but they had heavy armament there. And we had bars we had to put across that back door up there, and it was a big deal. That was always talk that somebody was going to come up there and drop down into the jewelry store through the floor of the radio station.
Wow. That's a case for Columbo. That's really exotic.
Well, the only thing that happened, I thought I had caught a big criminal one time because it was, I think, Sunday morning, a Saturday or Sunday morning, and somebody was pounding like crazy on that back door, which was heavily armored. Wow. And I called the police, and I said, hey, I don't know what's going on. It seems like somebody's trying to break in, and they're up on the back steps, and they're pounding and yelling, and I don't know what's happening over here. And it turned out it was a local drunk, and he thought this was the door where he could place his bet for a bookie.
No.
And the cops said it was nothing to worry about. We know who he is. He's harmless. He's drunk. Just, we told him to go away.
But he won in the 5th race that day, for the record.
So if anybody tried to...
He went back down the steps, and we never saw him again.
Oh, my.
But, so that was the layout. The radio station was in that configuration, and in fact, I was on the radio station probably as early as 1950 because they used to do what they call a man on the street, and they ran a microphone cable down from the station, down the steps, out in front of the jewelry store, and they would interview people out there, and then they'd give you a little box of candy, and I was one of the people that got interviewed probably in 1950 or 51, man on the street.
Tim, do you have time to... George Rawlinson called a little while ago, and he mentioned the story about Tom Shales, I think, that you had told on the airwaves before with Floyd Brown coming in on a Sunday night. Remember that story?
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. Well, Tom Shales, he and I were friends. We went to high school together. He was a very bright guy, a wonderful guy, and a musician, and he played the organ, and he lived over on that time over on McLean Boulevard, and he absolutely loved the Carol Burnett show. He was like obsessed with watching Carol Burnett. So Carol Burnett in those days came on at 9 o'clock on TV, and he never could miss Carol Burnett. Well, the problem was Tom Shales worked Sunday nights, and he worked till 10 o'clock on the FM. And he would just, at about 8:50, he would take the station off the air and go home and watch Carol Burnett. Because there was no way to record anything in those days. This was way before VCRs and all that. So this went on for, a fair amount of time. And we all knew what was going on, and just kind of wink, And anyway, one time Tom was leaving at 8:50. Now, the station was supposed to be on the air till 10, and he was running down the steps to get in his car, and it just happened by accident. Floyd Brown was coming up the steps at 8:50, and he was shocked. Tom, what are you doing? We're on the air, and you're supposed to be running the station right now. And Tom said, the transmitter went off the air, and I couldn't get it back on.
Wow.
And Floyd, in Floyd's usual demeanor, he said, okay, very good, I'll look into it, very fine. And so Floyd went back up into the station, and Tom went home and watched Carol Burnett. But there was never any further backlash to all that. Now, there is a little Floyd Brown story connected with something crazy about the station. One time, Floyd was at a party with some friends, and in these days, of course, there were record players, and the record player didn't work. Well, they wanted to listen to some music. So Floyd called me up at the station. I was working that night, and he asked me if I'd stick around and play some music for him for his party. They had an FM radio, but they didn't have a record player. So when the station ended at 10 o'clock, I stuck around. I forget how long it was, a couple, 3 hours, and I was Floyd Brown's disc jockey.
Wow.
When he was over at some friend's house listening to some music. And he would call me up and tell me what he wanted me to play, and I would just play the music for him. So there was all kinds of crazy stuff like that went on.
Wow.
Tim Skoning joining us, worked as a news reporter, news director of the WRMN back in the 1960s. So 60 plus years later, Tim, we're celebrating our 75th year here at the radio station. Today, officially celebrating the beginning of the 75th year. And here in the last several months, since earlier in the spring, WRMN's trying to begin to make that commitment to be more live and local more often, 6 to 6 every day, and eventually 6 to 6 on Saturdays and Sundays as well. It's been a long time since WRMN's been that way, right, Tim? Can you imagine us recapturing the glory days?
Well, I did want to mention one thing. When we did remotes in the day, and I have vague recollections of Floyd Brown and me doing a football game from, like, Harvey, Illinois, and then there was another man in the day. His name was Steve Dupre, and his mother was Irma Dupre, and she did some kind of a show from Dundee back in the 60s. But she got her son Steve a job as a sports announcer, and Steve and I went out and did football games. Steve did play-by-play, and I read the commercials. But in those days, if you wanted to do a remote like that, you had to call the phone company about 3 weeks in advance and tell them we need a phone line.
ISDN.
We still did that in the 90s for a remote basketball game.
Oh, okay.
And it got so expensive, Rick Jekyll decided we'd go cell phones. That was the modern-day switch.
Well, we didn't have cell phones in those days, but we'd sit out in the bleachers, and we'd find the wire on a nearby pole, and then we had this little remote. I think it was a little battery-operated two-mixer remote. And I have a vague recollection of Floyd Brown and me doing a football game, and Steve Dupre and me doing a football game. And also there was a man that worked there, Bruce Rako, and he was a real baseball nut for some reason. And we would do city games or Little League games or something, and the phone company would go put up phone wires all over at these baseball places at these around Elgin, and we would go out and do broadcast the baseball games. But it was a very onerous deal. You know, you had to make 3 weeks in advance, and you had to string the wire, and you had to hope the wire was there, and then there was no way to check to make sure you were on the air. You know, it was a big deal. It was nothing like you all do today, where you do video and audio. It's pretty amazing.
And again, it was similar to that. Into the 90s, you would have to have a phone line and make sure they had come through with you, and into at least the mid-90s. Floyd Brown's a big factor in my life. Floyd Brown, when I first came to town, he said I sound like Clark Gable. I couldn't understand it. but the one time, Floyd also, when he retired, he allowed me to take over his voiceovers for the King County Fair, which has been a great time for me. But Floyd was a great talent.
Floyd was a wonderful man. I'm telling you, I didn't know anybody who did not like the man Floyd Brown. And Floyd tried to help me a lot. He tried to help finish me a little bit, kind of like a personal finishing school. Hey, Tim, you do a good job. You're reliable. You get the news and all that. But, you know, just calm down a little bit.
Yeah, he's powerful that way. That's great. He's a great talent.
He was a great guy. Everybody loved Floyd. He was a wonderful man, and he had a wonderful family up. He lived on Grove Avenue at the time.
Yeah.
And I just can't say enough about him and my relationship with him in the days and everything he did to try to help me.
Me too. Floyd Brown was a key factor for me. I was honored to speak at his funeral in December of 2022. He was a tremendous, loved Elgin. He loved Elgin as much as anything. He would talk on WGN about Elgin, where he went to breakfast and things like that. He was a tremendous talent, a great asset for the city.
Yeah, it was an honor working for him. And as I told Mark before, at the time when Floyd and I worked together, you know, it didn't seem like a big deal. It was like if we were working at Ace Hardware or something, and just two guys having a job, going into work every day. And it wasn't a big deal at all in the day. It didn't have any momentous thoughts in the day. But, of course, now Floyd went on to be something really tremendous. And I look back at those days and my opportunity to work with Floyd, and it was really something. Even though at the time, being 19 years old and knowing everything, I didn't appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much for your memories, and thank you very much for all you've done for WRMN to keep us moving.
Well, I'm always happy to tell, you know, my recollection of the station and the people and my experiences there. And as long as people are interested, and as long as I can tell it in an interesting way, I'll be very happy to contribute at any time. And it's a pleasure to be a part of it, and I hope those listening right now got some benefit out of my words. And as I tell everybody, I got the mind of a 30-year-old. I might be an old guy, but I don't have an old man mind.
You don't have an old man voice either. I think the guy could still be the news director here. He sounds 30.
It's true.
Yeah.
Come on over.
Yeah.
Come on over anytime. We'd love to have you.
Okay. By the way, Mark, my son, who you met Saturday, my son Charles and daughter-in-law Stacy, my son wanted me to tell you that, you know, we're Moose members, and when my son was a little kid, when I could still pick him up, we used to go to the Moose, and I used to lift him up so he could touch the nose of the moose on the wall.
Wow.
He said, you need to tell Mark that.
Yeah.
So now I told you.
Well, good to see you. Thanks for listening to the First Shift, Tim, and nice to meet your son over the weekend.
Yeah, okay. Anytime. Call me. Happy to contribute.
Take care, bud.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Dean, you've got a candle over there. We'd like to light just to kind of what's a birthday without a candle?
Wow.
As we enter our 75th year, we recommit ourselves to being the premier community broadcasters for the Fox River Valley. Our longevity is a testament to the unwavering support of our listeners, and the ability to adapt to the changing media landscape will help us serve those very listeners. Thank you all for being here with us. Thank you all for supporting 75 years of WRMN, and here is to another 75 more.
We have been blessed to be a part of this, and we hope it continues to run. They say you're not supposed to drink, eat, or have fire in a radio station. So you see, we kind of break all the rules. And we just got done with a little buffet, too. But seriously, we thank you for letting us be into your community, and we will serve your community well. We'll continue to serve. That's what we're here to do. God bless you all, and thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, thanks.
Somebody better blow that out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
Hey, elbow.
Hey, you got the top, go get the bottom.
One more.
3 more.
We will now return to
our regular
scheduled programming. Take it away, Matt.
All right, sounds good. We'll just take a little brief timeout here. We'll be back with more in just a bit. Stay tuned.
Twin Zeros at 4870 North Harwood in Harwood Heights, Illinois. Check out the full menu at twinzeros.com. Twin Zeros Restaurant in Harwood Heights not only serves traditional gyros, but also has chicken gyro sandwiches. Twin Zeros also serves a variety of sandwiches ranging from cheeseburgers and Vienna beef hot dogs that have recently been inducted into the Vienna Beef Hot Dog Hall of Fame. Italian beef, Italian sausage, and combo sandwiches. To ethnic favorites such as Slovaki and Grecian chicken. Slovaki is shish kebabs, specifically chicken or pork shish kebabs, grilled to perfection, served on a warm pita with tomatoes, onions, and our homemade tzatziki sauce. You can also enjoy barbecue ribs served every day. Twins is open 7 days a week and also delivers locally. Located at 4870 North Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights. Check out the full menu at twinzeros.com. That's twinzeros.com.
Keep informed with everything that's going on with the Radio Shopping Show by joining our VIP text club today. All you have to do is text the message WRMN 1410 to the number 94253 and you're in. You'll receive timely information about shopping show specials instantaneously as they happen. Message and data rates may apply. The voice of the Valley and the home of the Radio Shopping Show, we are WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Taqueria Las Cumbres, Crystal Lake's authentic Mexican restaurant on Grant Street, is open for carryout. For over 15 years, Taqueria Las Cumbres has been serving up all of your favorite Mexican dishes and doing it better than the rest. Recently voted the best in McHenry County. Stop in and carry out the authentic taste of Mexico and see for yourself. Support local for lunch and dinner today and place an order from Taqueria Las Cumbres. Call 815-455-8200 for Taqueria Las Cumbres of downtown Crystal Lake.
All right, welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch with WRMN. Now you know why I brought the old bell as a memory. Now, this was not here at WRMN, but it's supposed to represent the past, seeing it in the present, and where it can go with the future. There you go. So what we want to do, of course, is we want to get into our... Oh, you want me to do a commercial real quick? All right, we'll take another quick 2-minute break, folks. We'll be back here in just a bit, of course. Stay tuned.
The Triple Berry Cafe of Crystal Lake offers incredible breakfast and lunch options for you, and now the coffee bar is open for you to enjoy. Stop in and enjoy a relaxing cup of coffee in a peaceful setting, and if you're hungry, the Triple Berry Cafe is ready to provide you with homemade goodness. Enjoy omelets, skillets, pancakes, crepes, waffles, and much more for breakfast. Stop in at the Triple Berry Cafe for lunch and enjoy signature sandwiches, burgers, wraps, salads, and healthy options are available as well. Triple Berry Cafe, just off Randall Road in Crystal Lake. Now with a coffee bar.
Hit the open road and experience the fresh air of Wisconsin at the Grand Stay Hotel and Suites in Mount Horeb. This award-winning hotel is just outside Madison. Mount Horeb is known as the troll capital of the world. Families can go on a troll hunt through the historic downtown or check out Cave of the Mounds just minutes down the road. The Grand Stay offers a beautiful pool and a hot tub with year-round fun. Visit grandstaymounthoreb.com today to schedule your visit.
Renata's Old Salem Cafe is now Renata's German restaurant with old family recipes for delicious Bavarian dinners. Renata's is also known for breakfast and lunch. Renata's German restaurant has fresh baked German pastries. For a hearty breakfast, try Renata's for pancakes, skillets, and more. They've also set the standard for catering excellence. Try Renata's German restaurant off Irving Park, west of Wise Road in Hanover Park. Visit renatasgermanrestaurant.com.
Michael Brown, former Undersecretary of Homeland Security and Director of FEMA, is your new full-time host of The Weekend, which airs every Saturday from 4 to 7 p.m. right here on WRMN. Each week on the popular 3-hour program, Brown offers listeners a fresh take on the weekend talk with his provocative insights into current events, politics, and culture. So late in the day on Saturday, make it a point to catch The Weekend with Michael Brown right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Ever take your car through the auto emissions lane only to experience the sinking feeling that your car has failed the test? Don't fret. Let Meineke at 376 Sundown in South Elgin fix the problem for you. Meineke's mechanics will determine the exact problem with your vehicle and suggest necessary repairs with Meineke's diagnostic service. Pass that test with help from the trained Meineke technicians. Call today for your appointment. 847-888-9644. That's 847-888-9644. In the mood for some great barbecue but just don't have time to make it yourself? Carry out Coleman's Barbecue on Elgin's East Side at 79 Clock Tower. Coleman specializes in ribs, tips, chicken wings, seafood, and sandwiches with sides like coleslaw, potato salad, and dessert. Try Coleman's Exotic Mild Sauce. It's the bomb. You can also buy sauce in gallon or pint sizes. It's prepared just right. The Coleman's Way. Call 224-535-8153.
All right, there we go. Welcome back, folks. Out to lunch with WRMN, broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin. Took some nice pictures outside. Wanted to, of course, look good for the pictures, of course. You can hear them talking in the background. Thanks to everyone for listening in and being part of the conversation. It's greatly appreciated here. And again, we're celebrating 75 years of WRMN AM 1410. And of course, we're looking forward to the future of 75 plus more. So very nice. So what we're going to do here is, because we went throughout the show here, the time is now 12:42, so I'm not going to take any more breaks. We'll just continue on for the next roughly 15, 16 minutes or so with our Tradio segment. Tradio. If it's got to go, put it on Tradio. If you're looking to buy, sell, trade, and or announce to the Fox River Valley area, feel free to give me a call, 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. The phone lines are open. Don't forget, you can also text us through the Image 360 info line, 505-926-1410. We'll continue on for the rest of the show here, going through the Tradio announcements, Tradio callers that have called in, and then after that, if we, well, time allows, we'll also go through kind of just a little bit of what's happening in the area as well. So we'll kind of do, I'll just bring up exploreelginarea.com and we'll kind of go through there and see what's coming up, because you can always find stuff to do within the Fox River Valley. Yes. Let's start off here. We're going to actually work backwards here today, and we'll start off with the earliest of Tradio announcements here within the past month or so. We have here Bill. He has those theatrical posters, which I think is awesome, especially as a collector yourself. You might be able to find some good, snag up some good posters here, because they are original theatrical posters. They used to hang up in the theaters. They're not reprints. So there you go. John Wayne posters, Steve McQueen films, Scarface, Return of the Jedi, Julia Roberts films, The Exorcist. I have one in my office now too. I'm so excited. And more. There are just some of the many that he has. So if you're interested, email Bill. It's from the 50s to the 80s with these posters. That is billsellsposters@gmail.com. So again, that's billsellsposters@gmail.com. Or you can also text him too. That is 708-793-3980. Again, texting Bill, that's 708-793-3980. We, of course, also have here Antique Jim. He buys antiques, and he'll pay a good price on them, too. Feel free to give him a call. I still have yet to call the other woman that called in yesterday, too. Got to remind myself about that, because I forgot yesterday. I got to see what she has, and we'll talk about that radio announcement here in just a bit. But we've got Antique Jim here. If you want to give him a call, that's 847-414-7267. Again, that's 847-414-7267. Another radio caller here. It's the fundraiser for St. Mary's. Yes, St. Mary's. That is Northwest West calling in about this. It's $10 per ticket, and you get a chance of four chances to win. Three $50 drawings, so that's three $50 drawings, and one $1,500, that's $1,500 grand prize. That's at the end of the year in December. All winners are returned to the drawing, and you can win multiple times. So I do believe here they have a drawing in September. So this month, October, November, and then finally December for the grand prize drawing. I know that in the past they've done it that way, so I'm thinking maybe that's how they're doing it again this year too for St. Mary's. It's going for a great cause, and of course, when you go out to the fundraiser, it's a good time. So I'll have to double check on when that is. But if you're interested, you can feel free to text him or call him for more information. That's 630-817-8880. Again, that's 630-817-8880. So again, that's for the St. Mary's School fundraiser. That's the St. Mary's School fundraiser. That's here in Elgin. That's at Gifford Street in Elgin. So if you want to check out more information, you can check out stmaryschoolelgin.org for more information. That's going to be coming up pretty soon. Looking forward to it. Hope you are too. Let's see what else we've got here in terms of Tradio announcements. We have Vicky here. She's still looking for some Spanish books for kids. If anyone has anything extra, maybe you know someone that also has some Spanish books, feel free to reach out to her. That number is 847-845-1763. Again, that's 847-845-1763. We have Westside Fred calling in here looking to buy some Power Rangers figurines, as well as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and old school Star Wars figurines for his grandson. If you are interested, feel free to reach out to him. That number is 630-677-4794. Again, that's 630-677-4794. Another Tradio caller here, Carl, has the boat for sale, the 14-foot Lund 1970 model. It's 18 horsepower Mercury motor on there, trailer that comes with it too, and everything works fine. Asking $1,200 or best offer on that. If you are interested, feel free to reach out to him. That number is 630-951-1998. Again, that's 630-951-1998. We have Motorcycle Tony here. He's looking to buy those motorcycles, dead or alive. He has a trailer to transport them to, and he's got cash in hand. He's also currently looking for a VW bus from the 60s, 70s, and or 80s. And then he also has a friend that's looking for a small house, 1 to 2 bedroom home. He's also, that friend is looking for it in the McHenry area or Fox Lake area. So if anyone is interested, feel free to reach out to Tony here. That number is 630-335-3312. Again, that's 630-335-3312. 12. Another radio caller has the 1978 Corvette. It's silver and gray with 54,000 miles on it. Not too bad for it being in the 1970s. Asking $15,500. If anyone's interested, feel free to reach out to him. That number is 331-442-1856. Again, that's 331-442-1856. Another trader caller here, John, has some items for sale, including an autographed Walter Payton football helmet. So this is a Walter Payton football helmet. How cool is that? And it's full size. And then he's asking $200 for it. So that's the asking price. He also has here, too, it's a simple display case with approximately 20 real casino chips that are collectible items. So they're collection items there too, which is pretty cool. It's $100 worth of chips, asking $125 for the chips as well as for the case. And you can send you pictures if you're interested in reaching out to John. That number is 630-440-1504. Again, that's 630-440-1504. Another trader caller has the RV fridge for sale. It's a Dometic RV fridge. It's 23 inches in width by 42 inches in height by 23 and a half inches deep. He paid $800 for it. He's asking $450. That is on the asking price. It is a model 2554. It's AC/DC. That's also the model AC/DC. And it's also AP gas. Electric 12 volts. And there you go. That's $800 for that. And then he also does have here 2 new tires. They are P235 by 70 by 16 tires there. 4 of them put together for $100. If you're interested, he's located on the McHenry North Side. If you want to give him a call, that number is 815-245-0670. Again, that's 815-245-0670. And again, that is the number to dial. So again, a great list of things coming up here when it comes to Tradio. We'll continue on here as well. We have Greg looking to buy the old bicycles, balloon tires, bone shakers, Schwinn bicycles, 1800s to the 1970s or 80s, parts pieces from the 1800s to the 1970s or 80s, parts pieces and or accessories. They really can be in any condition, which is pretty nice. And then also here he is looking for vintage Omega watches, men's or women's watches, and also diver style watches too. He's a collector, not a dealer. He'll pay top dollar on that. Very nice. And then he also does have some things here too. He also does have an item for sale, a Tektronix 535A electrical tester for $90 or best offer. He also has here as well a car for sale, a 2003 Ford Mustang convertible, very well taken care of. It's got new tires, brakes, 81,000 original miles on there. It's charcoal gray with leather interior. The only thing that doesn't work is a CD player. If you want to take a look at it, you can send you pictures, make him an offer. That number is 847-884-6033. Again, 847-884-6033. We have Wood by Jeff in Elburn. He still has the canning jars, fishing lures, garden stakes, some scrap pieces of aromatic cedar wood, as well as here too, he's got some concrete boards, piece of a hand railing, piece of a pegboard, and also some firewood as well. So those are some of the free items that he has, as well as 4 adjustable window screens. 2 are larger in size, and the other 2 are smaller. So those are the free items that he has that he's looking to give away. Now he does have some maple pieces that are 2x6s, $2 a piece. He has a tornado shelter, so call him for more information on that. And then he also does have here too that he is looking for a truck or minivan. He could trade you with the shelters if you would like. And some other free items here. He has some shelving boards too. So feel free to reach out to him. That number is 630-365-9488. Again, that's 630-365-9488. Next on the Tradio lineup here, we've got Mike calling in, looking for some comic books, anything from the 1990s and before. Also, old toys, vintage Star Wars, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 80s and before in terms of time period. And also, baseball cards. Very nice baseball cards, 70s and before in time period there too. He's got cash in hand. He's ready to trade with cash. He's ready to purchase them. So if you're interested, feel free to give him a call. That number is 847-489-9263. Again, that's 847-489-9263. We have a Tradio caller here calling in. Now, she's got some furniture as well as lots of other things for sale. She's located in Wayne, Illinois. It's a dining room set. She's got it with marble on there, so that sounds pretty nice. Queen size bed, antiques including dressers, tea tables, office furniture. She's got 2 older radios, 2 pianos including an upright piano. They're in great condition. She's got antique bookcases, typewriters. What also she has here too is a 1976 Spitfire. Comes with a hardtop as well. So, and it hasn't been sitting out in the rain and the weather, so it's in very good condition. If you are interested, feel free to reach out to her. That is 630-267-5543. Again, that's 630-267-5543. Very nice. Very cool. So those are the Tradio announcements, the callers that have called in here within the past month or so. Of course, you still have a little bit of time left here. We got a couple minutes if you want to add yourself to the list. 847-931-1410 or dial or texting the Image 360 info line 505-926-1410. We want to reiterate that you can also use that line too. Tradio is not just calling in and giving your Tradio announcement. You can also use the text line 505-926-1410. I always have it up on the screen. I also always have my email up on the screen, or well, up for me to on a tab so that I can pull it up for me. If you want to email me too, you can even email your Tradio announcement. Like during the broadcast here too. So if I'm like talking right now and you want to like send me an email, mattmcneil@WRMN1410.com, I will make sure to read it. Yes. So there you go. We've got about a minute left here. I want to, of course, thank everyone for tuning in and listening. Of course, we are celebrating 75 years of community broadcasting. Yes. And it's very exciting. We're looking forward to having such a wonderful lineup here. We have such a great crew and staff, family members here at WRMN. We're looking forward to growing WRMN, growing within the community as the community grows as well. Here, not just Elgin, within the Fox River Valley also. Having the extended live broadcasting, local content that's live from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and hopefully even on the weekends as well, with, of course, our digital innovation, embracing the modern technology that's always changing, and we go along with it too to keep up to date. We keep you up to date, and we try to keep ourselves up to date with the latest of technology as well too. Multiple different ways that you can be a part of WRMN. So not just through the radio AM 1410 dial, but also through the app, also through YouTube, through podcasts, and more as well, of course. So we are very much looking forward to the future. We took a look at the past today, saw what WRMN was, how it started. We, of course, look at what's happening right now, and we also hope to see into the future, or hopefully do some good for the future. I know we will here with WRMN. So it's all a beautiful story all wrapped together, and it's not over yet. 75 years, we're still going strong, and we're looking forward to the many people coming along, and those of you who have also been with us for that long too. This does wrap it up here with WRMN AM 1410 Out to Lunch special 75th anniversary broadcast. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more programming here. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy Blues Day Tuesday.